Ah, oh, let's go. Very last minute tonight, y'all. We almost weren't coming tonight, but it all came together. Like literally within the last half hour. I figured it's Thanksgiving, you know what I mean? I wasn't so positive, but let's go. I want to see something, man. I think I could put the I'm curious if hold on. What up? I'm curious if I could put this. I seen can I put this like this? How does that come up? So is that link? Oski in the motherfucking Oski! What's up? Can I do it as a link? That's what I want to know. Does it come up as a link though? But I mean, it's right there, so right. But you can't click on it. I mean, while we're waiting for 808 to come in, you can click on it, or I can do it as a link. You can click on it. Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I seen that. Yeah, yeah. That's what I was curious about. All right, perfect. Perfect. All right. Because we're gonna have 808 with the Ricky show. Old, he's got old genetics. Um, yeah, I got it pinned up there already, right? So I pinned it at the top. You mean I can pin it in the comments? Oh, interesting. Let me see. No, I can't pin it in the comments, but I could star it. Does that pin it when I star it? Did that pin it when I start it though? Let me know. What up, Solo? Let's go. That did pin it when I. All right, cool, perfect. I can't see it. If from my end, it's totally different. Let me see. You can import comments so you remember to discuss them. Let's go. Oh, so now I can just put it back up too. No pin, but it's in my start, so I could go back to it and just click it again, like that. I guess that's the idea. All right, that's cool. Um, it looks like 808 just. Oh, there he is, right there. Let's go. Perfect. 808 in the motherfucking house.
Um,
Ooh.
okay, are we in?
All right.
What's up, Bart?
Wait, I got no volume. Hold on.
Hey, we should be able to just like sit down and make it simple. Yeah.
There we go. All right.
Or you can
Perfect.
stand, whatever you want to do. Yeah, I was just thinking we just chill, keep it all mellow.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
What's going on, man?
Not much. I'm still wondering where my background went. It's weird when I restarted this the other day. There was a few things different. I'm not sure how or why, but it is what it is.
Probably adjusted a little bit back.
All right, let me see.
A little bit quieter. Oh, going the wrong way is why. I stoned us. There we go. Boom. Still cutting.
Oh, are we not live on? Wait, are we live on Instagram or no?
I have no clue, dude. I can jump on from my other phone and look.
No, we are. We're good. We're good. Oh, there
so,
we
guys,
go.
this is the Ricky Show, absolute legend from Hawaii, originator of One Love, 808 Bub, R2, R1, co-creator of the purple monkey punch, and lots of crazy shit. So we got a whole list of you know, it'd be easier to just send you guys to the website to look at it, but we got like a full arsenal of purple monkey punch crosses. We got I think 1 or 2 jack crosses. We got some 808 vanilla death bug crosses. We got the purple shake. So I'm gonna stop talking and let Ricky bring in his info for you guys.
Yeah,
Let's go.
yeah. The one of the new ones that we just we made them a while back, but it was a cross of I took a purple Pakistani and put it into Northern Lights, Buddha Sister, White Rhino, and White Widow, and then I took that male and then I put that into Hog Sunset Sherbert. And then we took after all that was together. He took his male of the vanilla shake, which is like a cakey kind of a flavor. And
It's a cake BX3.
yeah, and this thing came out freaking. It's like as far as like brand new things came, it's like automatically like up in there in the keeper class. So it's like that one. If those crosses, I'm not really. I can't remember what males he put into that new one, but it's gonna be like yeah.
That was the Runs
critical.
BX. That was the Runs BX3 mail. I'm pretty sure.
The vanilla shake.
We did the vanilla shake, purple shake, right?
Oh, and
Runs.
the runs. Oh, crazy. So it's gonna have a shit. See, when you crack seeds like that, like you have chances of getting like so many different variations. It's pretty dope. Like you get things that pop back from a long time ago can just pop through. You know what I mean? I always look for the super hybrid things. Like I want the ones that are like just mutants. Like because like you can grab the stuff that's exactly like the mom or things that lean more towards the dad, but like I like to get the ones that come out of that stuff, like
The 50-50.
yeah, the weird ones. Weirdos are always the standouts, and it can usually handle like bad weather, and they can handle bugs, and like I don't have powdery mildew at my house at all. It's like you know what I mean. Like certain things you want that resistance built into your plants. I mean, I grow outdoor up pretty much all now. Like I don't even have an indoor room anymore. It's just as good at this point. I don't know. I'm stoked.
His genetics crush it. They're classic old school. Nothing like the modern stuff for a lot of you guys that are looking for the old school. He has straight pure old school stuff all on his own.
The stuff, yeah, we just
Most of our
it's
stuff
like 80s weed, like right, like one of my
is a
genetic
mix.
kits put out now, and it's that kind of high where it ramps up. You know what I mean? Like these are the ones that will like cut your appetite down. You don't need to eat and all that. So we brought that into the indica stuff, like the PMP. That it's going to be more of that kind of weed, but we'll see what happens with like that list he's got is crazy. Like all the different males put into PMP, it's like there's going to be some really insane shit.
Yeah, like just tell him some of your favorites off that list, like what you would recommend.
Let's talk about let's talk about what's on the list. And if there's specific things that are like good for like mold resistance, like you say, point those out. I feel like that's really something that
well, most of if it has the purple monkey punch in it, like all my genetics have been bred outdoor in Hawaii from like 93 till now. So it's like mine are meant to be literally outdoor. Like used to get in deep shit growing. So our patches would be up in the mountains, you know what I mean? And we'd be hiking in like bilge pumps for boats and then like marine batteries and pumping water out of rivers to water our patches, like deep in the mountains and stuff. Like it was a lot of work, and if you got busted, you would get, like super busted. Like I had to leave Oahu in 2004. Like, I mean, I had a big patch, but Green Harvest came and we had like 1,200 plants in my backyard. It was insane. Like the amount of weed was getting pulled out of my yard. I was just like, oh, we're in deep shit. But like somehow we steals it away. Like a bunch of my roommates just came back from Indonesia. So everybody's like, what? We weren't even here. And like showing them all their passports. So they didn't know like who was actually living in the house of like 10 people. I got real lucky, but I was like, fuck, I'm out of here, dude. But yeah, like the one, purple monkey punch crossed with the blueberry, that thing, from what I've seen, I can only imagine, like, because the blueberry was like a real blueberry too. It was like real sativa looking one, the one I'm used to from the 80s. So it was like, and the pictures we've seen of the guys that grew it, we haven't got around to it. They're pretty amazing, and they're claiming blueberry-ish terps too, and like blueberry. And then the purple Pakistani has this like really weird citrally, like kind of trippy smell. So what the guy was saying, I was like, oh, that's probably in there, like a blueberry with that. And then dang, I don't know, like probably the blueberry haze is gonna be really dope, and I don't know, it's crazy, man. Lemon macaroons with purple monkey punch, the monkey magic, a bunch of stuff.
There's
in
a
there
bunch of
that's
crazy
probably
stuff.
gonna be pretty
Pretty
good. I mean,
if I had to help point directions, I would say for today's current market, purple monkey punch with the runts is going to be.
yeah, you'll know more than me.
It'll be an easy. Everybody will eat it up. Purple monkey punch, blueberry super skunk to the blueberry cross of the peanut butter breath back cross. That would make a lot of noise.
What about PMP cherry pie? Do we have that?
PMP cherry pie.
That's pretty dope too.
Will be insane.
I got 3 of those going right now.
The Grimace Runts is actually a completely different mom, but the vanilla purple shake to the Runts BX3 will be crazy.
Yeah.
The Fozzie Bear, the Circus Monkey already been proven. The
Fozzie Bear is proven too.
The blue baboon and the blue monkey punch. I would say all day with the blueberry to the monkey punch together. We did it 2 ways, so it's purple monkey punch with the blueberry super skunk from Ricky.
Yeah.
Cross to the blueberry parfait. And then the other way was just pure purple monkey punch cross the blueberry parfait. So we got it 2 ways for you blueberry enthusiasts. And then if your guys are like more just straight old school, purple monkey punch, African lime haze, purple monkey punch to the chem dog. So those 2 would be more.
What about the Jack Harrod? The Jack Harrod.
We did Jack to run. So we got Jack and Runts.
And I just pulled it off, and it really pulled like more of the Shiva skunk flavor, like that old Shiva skunk.
It's a rad Jack kind. It's not.
Yeah, I phenom hunted it, and I brought the seed from Amsterdam. I bought them shits in '98 from Greenhouse Seeds, and I phenom hunted
Shiva skunk. That's what it's crossed to, or
Shiva skunk Northern Lights. Yeah, that's what the Jack Harrod is.
Oh, okay. I thought okay.
Yeah. But the one I chose, it's a little more of the Shiva, like the 2 other versions of it. They were pretty good, but they're like super leafy and gnarly, and I'm just kind of over it. It rains a lot in Kauai, so it's like you don't want like super ultra leafy strains. I mean, you prune them and all, but still, you don't want too much leaf.
Purple monkey punch GMO and purple monkey punch kryptonite are crazy.
They're gonna be dope. Yeah,
we did find a purple monkey punch kryptonite pheno that was straight like a lime.
Kaffir lime.
Yeah, so
like
that one is crazy.
Lime. Yeah,
is there a question, or you're telling them where to go? Gotcha.
Yeah, well, I just see a lot of people, as you know, I see about 15 people over on Instagram, and every time I look down, I'm trying to see your guys' questions on Instagram. But if you guys just come to the YouTube, which is pinned right there, or on the scroll,
and we got the
I can throw your questions up on the screen, and I don't have to look down. But I will get to some of the questions from Instagram as well.
Plus my Instagram channel, they clipped it. I don't know, dude. Like all of a sudden they're just like, "Oh, you're done." I'm like, "Oh, whatever." I guess I'm going back to the underground.
Yeah, it happened to the person that's coming on next to. He just lost a couple of big pages, so I feel like
that's kind of like, dude. Yeah, they're like messing with their First Amendment right. It's like, what, dude? You got a problem with me? Like, come and talk to me about it.
And the papayas. So we got.
I wish that they would.
Monkey punch, papaya, ZBX3, and then we got purple monkey punch, papaya, London pound cake, fish mints. So if you guys want some tropical fruity with some purple packy, like R2 Gammy, just crazy mix of terps, those will go wild.
Yeah, my R2, I have some up the road, and dude, it literally it passes people out and everything. Such expando weed. It's like, and that's the Ganny from 1972 is in my R1 and R2. Or it's from I got them from like old local guys from North Shore Oahu, and then that mail I put it into like everything I had this one year in like 1997 or 96, and like it went into the Big Bud. It went into I made this strain called Schwagelberry. It was like the original Purple Kush with the blueberry, which was amazing, and then pulled hash plants from Molokai. That's what's up too, the box set.
So that's the box set right there.
Yeah, there's 10 flavors in there.
So only 10 were produced. I want to say there's maybe 5 left.
Only 5 left. Okay.
And The
Those are like
Kauai, the
specialty-
Kauai limes is exclusive to the box set. So that was the Purple Monkey Punch Kryptonite Kaffirian Lime Pheno crossed back to the Green Portal, I believe.
So,
Yeah.
where can they get that?
These.
Where are we going to be able to get that? How many?
We have it on the website, I think.
Okay.
So it's on the 808market.com. And then if you want me to, if anyone wants to just grab it through dark, yeah, we got you.
Yeah, whatever you want through dark. You can get whatever you want. Like through the
I feel like we could put a couple up.
Yeah,
maybe
like
we do
for
something.
all of the packs, we can do them for what, like 100 a piece, right?
Yep.
For sure. Then yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So that would be what you would sell. That would be what
Everybody's
you would
getting a
sell it
break.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if we get that up, especially for the, we could for the Black Friday, we could add that into, the Black Friday. I have your logo already, so I could do it like on the site where they'll either be able to go to 808 or you. I'll have it connected, so it would show up on his and yours. We could list that. We could list some single packs. We could let these guys get access to some of that stuff.
There might
have
be
had a
one
couple
box
people.
set up for Black Friday on the 808 market for $750 right now, possibly.
Good deal.
But dude, I think that's the last
It's all
one.
specialty, like literally, like all those seeds, like like especially on my end, like whenever I did get my genetics, it was like that year that it was done. Like people can be like, oh, I got this and that, but I'm like, yeah, but it's gonna look different from when I had it.
And then it gives you the full genetic lineage on how the Purple Monkey Punch was made.
Yeah,
Do you want to break that? Did we break that down for them yet? I know we did last time. You want to run down?
So it started off with a female, which was Afghani, into Sour Diesel, into White Rhino, White Widow. That's the Big Island Widow, is White Rhino, White Widow cross. And I put that into the Sour Diesel, then the Afghani into that. Then I made a strain called the Tang, which is Northern Lights number 5 Buddha Sister male, into the Big Island Widow Buddha Sister female. And then I took the Purple Pakistani male and put it into that. And then so what I just explained, all that went into the R2, which is Sour Diesel, Big Island Widow, Afghani. And then it's super special. Like even that one, all by itself was really good. Yeah. The Tang, like I have all the seed stock still yet. And like just all of them on their own are super dope. And the R2, I haven't even stopped running that. That thing like handled these torrential floods we had one year. It like wiped out the North Shore. Like my plants are outside getting pounded, and like it fully handled like no problem. We're like stoniest weed ever. So I've had those going for like years, since 2018 or 17.
And then our side was Crippy with my dad's heirloom purple tie, which we don't know exactly what makes up the purple tie. We just know that's what it was called.
Tie strain from.
I think it was like a purple strain, probably a Gani or a.
It's probably a haze in Thailand. They don't really have Ganis over there in Thailand.
Well, I think it was like Highland. I know it was a Highland tie, but then I don't know what.
Yeah, Highlands
made the purple.
Mountains. Yeah, that's like different. That's more sativa up over there. Yeah, I got a lot of seeds from Thailand too. I got a Thai indica that's crazy, but that thing's like.
So there it is.
Yep.
Limited edition, guys. Grab it before they're gone.
Yep, that's pretty hype right there.
It's the only way to get the Kauai limes, and I mean that's a standout pack by itself. Every pack that's in the box is very special, uplifting, and unique.
Yeah, in that list, there's a lot of really good stuff in there, and some of the stuff is tried and tested already. Like the Fozzie Bear, like guys are like really hyped on it. I guess in New York, from this one guy, from what I heard, and another guy has 50 of them, but we didn't. His line got clipped too, so we haven't got to hear like exactly like the.
Well, Instagram keeps deleting people, so it's like it's hard when you give people seeds to run for a facility to keep in touch with them when pages go down.
Yeah.
Yeah, Instagram it just sucks, man.
They're whack, man.
Yeah, I like being on here. It's safe, and it just it's way it's not Instagram. Even though we're on Instagram as well, this sort of saves any trouble on Instagram because this is a third-party app that goes through it. But they've been definitely disabling accounts, deleting accounts. That shit's sort of crazy. I see 517 in here. I think he just lost his main page. In-house is going to be in here next. He just lost two of his main pages.
Oh my
50,
god.
yeah, almost 60. I think he had 55,000 on the one page. So, it's
Wow,
a
dude.
hit.
Like I put in a bunch of work for them to do that. It's like, come on, man, like give it a rest already.
It sucks.
Just let people do what they gotta do. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Oh,
So,
man, whatever.
for anybody that doesn't know, I'm not sure if we really introduced you yet. I mean, let them know who you are, how long, when you started breeding, like give them an idea, a little bit of your background. For the people that are in here that might not, I know there's a few people that definitely do know who you are, but there might be a bunch of people that don't. So I want them to, know when when you started breeding, where you're from,
Yeah.
who you are, all that.
Yeah, originally, I'm from Inglewood, California, like all through that area, Hawthorne, all the way down to Long Beach, and actually the first time I even grew a plant, I was like 18, living in Lakewood, and my uncle's really good friend had a badass reggae store on 7th and Xemina called Culture Beat, and all of his homies would come from Jamaica. And this one year, I got this strain called the Maca weed, and I like to this day, I was like, holy shit, like it was literally like skunk number one. It was so dank, and like we're living like right in the hood, but my friend had these two dogs. Saw the essays, went and tried to come in our yard because the two Dobermans, Sasha and Ruby, they're like just guarding our plants. It was so ill, but and then when I was 20 years old, 93, I moved to Oahu to hawaiian. And then from there, a few months later, I moved to the North Shore, and that's when I met like all the guys that like turned me on to growing when I was 21. And one dude worked at Ahi's, who's an old cook back there, old timer, and brought me in. And see, back in those days though, you're only growing with seeds. There was no like, I mean, I didn't know anybody that was doing snips or all that. And guys were coming from other islands, just bringing their herb, and you'd find some seeds and just critical strains though. Like later on, like I was like, like people showed me like Piff and this and that. I'm like, oh, I already grew all those, like, but like these really like crazy ones actually like came from like Asian people like that in Molokai that were super like nuts, like Afghanis and Nepalese and just strains. It's like they're gone now, a lot of it, and I have a lot of it in seed form, like the original cat piss, and like I have the original duck foot from Big Island, and these hash plants from Molokai as well. And but then there's like guys that come over, like all the pro surfers, and our all of our boys are out there going in the world surfing. So like guys are constantly coming back to the North Shore of Oahu with just crazy shit. And then like not only that is like a lot of the old school guys that were like helping me with my growing and all that, they were already like had all their boys hooked up in Mendocino and Humboldt and Santa Cruz. So like on top of that, I was going back and forth like trimming in summertime, you know what I mean, over there in Cali too. So on top of breeding, like, like it started about when I was 22, just on accident, like, but I figured it out real fast not to keep males in your patch, you know what I mean? Like you got hundreds of plants and most of them get seeded out. You're like, oh my gosh, dude, like just huge Ziploc bags of seed and just like, oh shit, it's like throwing them like that everywhere. But if I would have known now, I probably had so much winners, like I just wasn't taking care of them right, or soil was all whacked with like clay. So then I met this old dude named Harry on Waianae, and he was an old Japanese farmer, and they make bokashi and then EM, the efficient microorganisms. This is the first dude I ever seen with it, and he was like, this is in '96, and started using that in all my patches because we'd have like huge patches. Like by the time it was all done, we like for a long season, there'd be like 1,200 plants out there, and you're like pulling males and like going at nighttime. It was radical, like the way we used to grow. It was like it was super fun though. You know what I mean? It was always the mission. And, like you're always getting new seeds every year, but everything changed once I started learning how to do snips. And then the one year I brought back the real big bud, which was skunk number one Afghani. It was grown at our uncle's friend's farm. They're growing AK-47, bubble gums, all that shit. But like the one year I bought the two snips for $1,000 a piece of the big bud, and that like changed the whole North Shore of Oahu. People were like, what? Like you couldn't have like 3 or 4 plants because it was the real skunk number one that was in it. So it was like it was so stink, you know what I mean? And had like 3 or 4 plants. People like, what's that? Like go up into the mountain, like, dude, don't go over there, dude. It's way too plants, trust me. That like, yeah, and I bred with that, but I still haven't been able to get that terp yet back. That's one thing that once I bring that kind of shit, like that like the cat piss and Molokai pig shit, dude, there's like just the weirdest, most offensive like 80s strains that like, you know, they're like the kind where it's like you almost feel like you ate a mushroom cap. You know what I mean? Like that kind of paranoia level where you're like, holy shit, I'm like really stoned right now. Yeah, like this is kind of nuts. Like I gotta go be by myself for a minute. Maybe it's because I was younger, but I don't know. I'm still looking for those that when I breed. And I just recently bred a couple new shits at my up the road, and the one is totally like flashback. Like it reminded me of high school. Even my friend, he's a little older than me. He's like 52, and then other friends like 65. And they both looked at me and they're like, "Holy shit!" And I'm like, "Dude, it's the 80s, right?" I'm like, so I am slowly breeding things, and they're like super gooey and like almost to the point where like, you know, like you could stick it on the TV and it'll stick there like a sticker. Like I'm getting it back to that kind of shit. Like I want it to be so active. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good somebody's doing that, man. Like I thought, you know, before I knew who you were, I talked to Jake about you and, you know, some of the old genetics that you still hold and that you breed with. That's what people want. You know, I feel like the more we talk about, the more we let these people know, like really what you're breeding with and what you have. I feel like this is a door, you know, a door to open up for a lot of these guys that have been looking for old genetics that just don't know where to find them. And then with what you're doing with Jake, Jake, you know, you bring in some of his genetics, bro. You know, I'm excited to see what's going to come of some of this stuff. So
yeah,
I know everybody else should be just excited.
Yeah, guys are sleeping on the PMP crosses straight up.
No, everybody that's grown them has showed us pictures. We're like, dude, I mean, frick, if we had like
everybody's growing
facility,
the
we could do
same
that.
stuff, and you can't change the price of the pack when everybody has the same stuff, you know. So it's like the purple monkey punch is super unique. It's like the this lemon lips we're smoking right here. It's super unique, different terps that people don't have. That's what brings the price back. When everybody grows the same flavor, the price cracks.
Always about me.
No doubt, bro. And then you have the whole, you know, then you have the washing aspect of it too. I'm wondering, like, have you guys washed it? Do you know any numbers or, you know, do you know anything specific out of this? You know, what we're gonna
if
drop?
You're trying to wash it, Purple Monkey Punch to the GMO BX3 is the number one I would pick. PMP Dog Patch would be probably number two. Any of the papaya stuff will wash decently. But typically, the Crippy will also wash pretty well, but not as good as the GMO.
Do you know does anybody out there, do you guys know of the C4 or the Pine? They're like early 2000s era, the C4 and the Pine. Like Reaper Man made the C4, and then the Pine was like an Oakland strain that was real hype.
Yeah, no, the in the pines. It might be the same, maybe, right?
Jake's Lemon Lips. This thing, it tastes exactly like that. When I smoke on my trip, I'm like, wow, this is just like
it's a throwback. It's a throwback.
C4 and the Pine. Yeah, the Pine was super popular. Like the dude in Oakland in the wheelchair, he's like at his dispensary. He was like, they're hyping it really hard.
And see,
anyone
who's tried the Lemon Lips likes it. They're all in one.
Oh, everybody that talks about the Lemon Lips says it's the most, you know, like it's the best lemon strain that they've had, and I talked to a lot of people, so there's definitely, you know, and that's been a thing lately, especially.
And that's why we're probably gonna do a Lemon Lips regular menu and a Lemon Lips Femme menu sometime in 2025. We already have a lemon menu, but it was lemonade to the Animal Cookies BX4, and that was a killer meal. But I feel like the lemonade with the runts that made the Lemon Lips was just a better pairing for those. It's just how it goes. We didn't have runts when we first wanted to make a lemonade back cross.
We made this strain too. It was my stage number 2. I had a couple variations. Stage 1 was earthy, and stage 2 was like real tangy and dope. But then I put Buddha Sister Male into that, and then we put Jake's Lemon Macaroon Male into my stage 2 Buddha Sister, and like, dude, we made rosin over here one time. Like, dude, shit smelled crazy.
Yeah, it's like Ricky's got this citrus terp that's not orange.
Yeah, it's like this weirdo.
And it's not lime, and it's not lemon, but it's like
it's citrus.
It's a citrus like blend of not orange. It's like lemon lime, like
but not orange.
It's crazy. And we already crossed it to the lemonade, but that one is like super limited. So
the lemon macaron, there wasn't much seed of that. Yeah,
I think that thing's like $250 a pack.
What about the ogres that I brought over? The original ogres.
We haven't crossed it yet. I think it's remember
makes-
that's the one. I was gonna do
Dude.
ogre to the peanut butter bread.
Yeah, my friends.
Because everybody
friends,
likes the peanut butter, so you're
Yeah, it's gonna be nuts.
It's like, oh, everybody tries the peanut butter bread. It's like an earthy kush with like nutty, and you're like,
Yeah,
cool. You know what I mean?
my friends had this ogres kush they're running in LA back in the day. They owned a Crooks and Castle clothing line, but they're blowing up that ogres like in the early 2000s for like 600 an ounce. It was like Jay-Z and Kanye West were their reps, so they're like just smoking their weed all day. But that like I brought that over here from seeds, so we're crossing it into something.
That's gonna. We
What
got
are we
the peanut butter bread back cross.
Yeah. And in LA, a lot of people were really into
So
it. I was in
figuring-
LA already though.
We're trying to do a bunch of peanut butter breath BX2 work here because I'm a firm believer that peanut butter breath is a worthy strain. So
It definitely is, man. The peanut butter breath, especially the one, that's it's a very
I think
worthy
I'm gonna
strain.
do a sample of the
Agreed.
pops.
Let's see.
I'm gonna try send him a sample of the lemon lips here next, so he can try that.
Yeah,
Oh,
Reese-
I got rid of the P&P large. I was doing something.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I got rid of it all.
I know I got some sage Afghani in there, my R1. I love that shit, dude. It's like lemony, like freaking pine sol smell. It's so heavy. It's like
Oregon
freaking gappy.
knows. Oregon grows all the strains. Shout out to the Australian grower community.
Oh, yeah.
Aussie, another Aussie.
Aussie, boy.
Oi, man. I got
Like
a lot of
Magpie.
Aussie friends
Aussie.
that surf here.
Oh, Aussies are always, I've never met a not cool Aussie. Aussies are like always chill.
Dude, I'll never forget it. I see these dudes, Aussies. It's called Spit the Winkle, dude. And I watched these two bodyboarders spit the winkle at a Roxy party, which is like all surfer chick, like kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I know what Roxy is, no doubt.
Sunset
Yeah.
Beach, but yeah, dude, I watched this dude like come and spit the winkle, and it like everybody like turns and see these guys standing up there. They like fill their butts up with water, like a water weenie inside their stomach, dude. And then they'll just turn around and go "Whoop," and like blast the water out of their butts, dude. And spit the winkle.
That's
So
kind of
that stuff. And me and I was shrimming my face off. I was like watching these guys. My friend's like a bodyboarder too, and Chad Barber. He's like, check these guys out. They're gonna spit the winkle. Like all up on the wall. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? And I'm sitting around, I watch these guys. I've seen the whole thing as I'm shrimming my brains out, and I'm just like dying. I'm almost crying up on the wall, going, oh my god. And then they like go and actually spray the water, and it's like all slow motion to me. I'm all shrimming. I'm like, see them hit all the tough guys. Everybody just loses their shit. Like chases these dudes, but they're up top. They like made it out of there. But dude, funniest shit I ever seen in my life, dude. Like be high on shroom. I was like, oh my gosh. They sprayed it all over the cute girls and everything, like full booty water. I was like, you guys are so classic, dude. The freaking Aussies spit the winkle, dude. They're killing it.
I gotta
Yeah,
make a strain spit the winkle from the GMO BX4.
Dude, that's freaking
GMO
hilarious.
BX4 to the
There you go.
Spit
That's
the
a
winkle.
great name right there. I like it.
Winkler.
Right?
Spitting winkles.
Winkle.
Dude,
It's the Winkle. The Winkle. Yeah.
they got way more other. They got so much funny stories, and I'm just like, what? And then like, dude, I used to go like this to my friends, like, because to me, I'm like, oh, peace out, you know what I mean? And I'm good. And then I have this one party. I remember my friend's all drunk, man. He comes up, he's like, fuck you, mate. After I did that to him, I'm like, what? He's like, dude, in our country, that means fuck you. And I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, all these years to all you guys, I've been doing that. I felt so bad. And they're like, yeah, they're like, nah. But
Say
I
it
didn't
ain't
know
so.
that.
And you
Yeah,
know what
dude.
they also go nar. Yeah.
They always want to roll up the joints. I'm like, dude, get your tobacco out of here, dude. They're like, roll like mostly like tobacco, but then with like a little bit of weed there. I'm like, like you take a hit off their joint. I'm like not ready for it. Just like puke my guts out. I was like, dude, what was that? They're like, I'm like looking. They're like, oh, it's mostly tobacco. I'm like, oh wow, dude, you gotta warn people before that. Hawaii, we just roll fatties, but it's all weed and sometimes a huge hash worm in the middle. If you don't feel like be slick about it. Dude, we
No
used to make
doubt.
the-
I used to, like,
Snake
when
in
you
the-
were growing up.
Snake in the grass.
We used
Yeah.
to make piles of bubble hash, dude. And, like, I would just take it and like gob on whole paper, just make huge Tootsie Rolls and just ruin everybody. Like, so funny watching people just gagging. Like, I'm gagging too. We're all like, oh, I can't even smoke it.
So I think Jake pulled that at 8 weeks. It's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Someone did the. I missed something. Someone did the.
I told him he should have taken 9, but he takes everything at 8.
Wiffle Smiths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That weed goes to your eyeballs. It makes you like
Oh, yeah.
start getting all
All
really
lazy.
relaxed.
Yeah. The lemon gives you a little bit of an alert feeling, but then the other stuff makes you like, burr.
You know, I have to roll the R1 and make us go up. Just climb right back up. Go to 2.
Right there. What does he say? 2 fingers up. It's
Up your bum. Up your bum.
Is that what it is? Yeah. See, I don't know, dude. Like, I know they were trying to. I was all faded when they were telling me, but I just remember being like, going, "Oh,
he's
what?
an old-time Aussie grower.
That's
like
classic." Yeah, dude.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I felt so dumb after. I'm like, "Oh wow, dude."
He's straight rainwater only. That's how you know
That's
you're
dope,
like,
dude,
yeah,
yeah.
guy's on.
That's like Big Island, dude, with their rain catch and some of the spots. You got.
I'm just saying, if somebody tells me they grow with just straight rainwater,
that's crucial.
and living soil, you're like, yeah.
You got your little
Yeah,
stash of earthworms. You're just like making your own earthworm castings and all that.
Well, that's how you're gonna get the best
Yeah,
tasting
wild.
weed, bro. If you have like really good soil with
Yeah,
straight rainwater.
all of our green waste, dude. It breaks down so fast, turns into dirt, and our green waste. You light it up and make your soluble potash.
Oh yeah,
Dude,
the
banana green,
yeah.
dude. Or you light all the banana leaves and dude, the ash in there. You put it on your dirt.
Right, you got bananas.
You
That's
see
your
it just
property.
activated. A couple months
Start
later,
to
you're
pile
like,
all
oh
the
wow,
banana
you can
leaves
literally
and burn
see it. Like, but I'll put EM and other stuff like efficient microorganisms, the bokashi, and
Just like the
to make the earth kind of like start snapping. You know what I mean? Like, it really makes your dirt come alive. Like worms can come from everywhere. Start living in your bags, dude. When you got the bokashi in there.
Why not? Yeah. Why not?
So you guys have, some interesting, like everybody wants at one time, and me especially, Hawaii is known for just really superior cannabis. So,
I was talking with
rained on a lot,
Romulan Genetics today, and he was like, "Yo, yeah, he had like I think it was called Hawaiian Electric or Powerline when he was seeing it over there in the mainland." But he's like, "Dude, it was 100% the skunk." Like he already was like, "Yeah, he knows," and I'm like, "Sick," because he gets it. Like when you try to tell guys Hawaii has crip weed, and guys are like, "Oh, I don't know this and that." It's like, dude, in the '60s, the '70s, Hawaii was like the epicenter, and then it like blew up across the United States like over the years. But like,
dude, my cousin Andy in 1978, I remember coming from Santa Monica to Hawaii every winter, and then the one day finally was growing weed, and I remember my auntie was like, now this guy's growing marijuana in my yard after he came back from Hawaii, and even back then I remember smelling it, just going, what? Like,
well,
seeing a surfboard,
I was like, I'm already, surfers travel a lot.
Oh, surfers are
so it's like a
and
dude in Florida could be literally smoking some Hawaiian bud, and vice versa. A dude in Hawaii could be smoking some Florida bud, right? So then these surfers are going to have a superior education on cannabis knowledge based off of just social networking, trying new shit, right?
Yeah.
So when these old timers were traveling around smoking weed all over the world, as soon as they saw a hitter, they already, dude, can I get cuts of this? Can I get seed of this? Like, what's up? Like, this is killer.
Yeah, my friend Steve-O, his family is from Florida, and his stepdad would come and surf and Oahu with us. And the one year I'll never forget, he came back with a strain called the Ronald McDonald from Florida, and it was.
I think that's Miami. I think that was Miami Mango.
And what's it called? Cups, McDonald cups, the ounces. But Steve-O's dad got the strain on Aruba or one of those islands. Like it was one of the Caribbean islands. He brought that shit back. We grew it. I had a male, and I put it in with my Afghani, and I called the strain the Right Hook. And to this day, dude, it's still over there on Oahu, North Shore, like my Right Hook. And this shit, like straight asthma weed. Those old strains, though, they take like 90 days, 80 plus days, no matter what in long season. But like short season, when they're chunky and all the best, it's like about 80, 85 days, like Big Bud was too. But to this day, I'm still trying to get that strain back. It was so critical. Like, and everybody, all the Floridian kids that were living on North Shore too were like they knew Steve-O's dad, and they're like, oh fuck yeah, the Ronald McDonald. Like they knew what it was when we grew it. And I was like, what? And then they're like, yeah, dude. Like how'd you get that? And then we're like, oh, Steve-O's dad is staying up at with Steve-O guys right now. So we're like, we got the seeds out of all that bud that he brought back, and he was like, oh, you guys got to grow this over here. It's like from the Caribbean. I can't remember what island. Frick. It wasn't Jamaica. It wasn't Aruba, but I'm not too familiar with all the other islands. I've only been to Jamaica.
I mean, there's like Cuba, Puerto Rico,
Not
Dominican
Puerto
Republic,
Rico. It's maybe not
Dominican,
Trinidad. It's
Trinidad,
maybe not Trinidad.
Haiti.
There
You
was
know,
waves. No, he went to surf there. He actually got like good waves there.
yeah,
And
I'm
then
not even sure. You got like the Bahamas, you got Saint, the
somewhere in
Virgin
Bahamas.
Islands,
It's
you
probably
got all
St.
that.
Croix
Right
area,
there.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I was pretty impressed with that
Bermuda.
straight. Like,
Yeah, Bermuda's down there. You got the Bermuda Triangle. That's like the triangle from. So,
dude,
because that's where I
it's-
live. I lived
yeah,
in Florida for a long
All the
time.
crosses we got are epic, and on top of that, if you want, just he's got his own genetic library. It's a
I
different
know,
price point, but we got all these killer things of cherry pie mix, runts mix, GMO mix, crippy mix. We got the lemon macaroon in there. We got the peanut butter bread back cross in it. We got the African lime haze. If you're talking just straight traditional old school,
that'll be really good too.
Yeah, like
guaranteed.
some blueberry back cross.
All of that, yeah.
Traditional, more old school as well. So it's like there's some crazy stuff out there. And like I said, if you're a home grower and you just want something unique and uplifting, and it'll throw down yields, grow easy trim, but just super unique bud structure, flavor, and effect. PMP crosses all day.
Yeah, I'll be working on a website too, and then like anything like they're looking for newer genetics, I'll automatically link it into his stuff too. But I'm sure everybody else.
And on our site, we got I forget where it is, but you got to look for in the blogs. We got a whole list of all the different PMP stuff, a full breakdown. I think there's a terp profile.
That list he has is massive too.
Yeah.
That's like
And this is actually the one.
freaking arsenal, dude.
It's not even actually fully completed, but it's
There's more than that too.
This
So
is what
that's
we
the
had on the list right there.
That's a good amount of like fuck, dude. It's
Here,
like
why is, oh, here I can. Well, it's not going to do
so
it.
there's good options for you guys out there. There's like literally like there's something for everybody out
Exactly.
there.
Options for everybody. I would always tell you go for the box set. If you don't have $1,000, just pick up a pack. $100 for these type of genetics is a steal.
It's awesome.
So
We're stoked to get them out there. Get more like island made stuff over there
and Ricky's a cannabis warrior. He's been fighting for the plant
Yeah.
before it was legal, preserving that stuff.
dude.
So it's like
Got ratted on.
support the homie.
Yeah.
Get about the rare stuff, preserve it, do it, keep it around.
So they're going to be $100 a pack on the single packs for the person at Brandon.
And we're gonna throw in freebies. So me and him talked about it. So if they want a single pack, we'll throw in 3 seeds of another variety in it. So they just like a bonus here, try this.
Yep. Which is dope.
So 12 regular seeds of whatever strain you guys want off the list. And then we got to decide on the freebie, but we'll throw in a freebie. I was thinking the Grimace runs just because I think we got a decent amount, or we could do the PMD cherry.
Yeah.
But that one's so special.
Or maybe you should throw something random like freaking perp something.
Well, that was the same, the perp to the runs.
Yeah, maybe throw 3 in of that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
Or surprise them, whatever. Whatever we think.
Well, I'm just thinking like the purple shake with the runs is totally different.
Yeah.
And the better. Right. And then they got the other one, so it's like then they can see what the PMP is all about. So
Totally.
It's like giving them it's like a mini flavor pack, so they can and ideally if they're smart, they take a male from one, hit it on their best girl, and they're helping preserve it too. Yeah.
And right now I got 3 PMP cherry pies going, so I'll be able to give everybody the down low on that one pretty soon.
That's gonna be epic. There's no way the PMP cherry pie is not gonna be epic. PMP has a crazy serrated leaf from Ricky's old school genetics, and then the cherry pie. I feel like when you put like a double heavy serration plant together, you just end up with super epic phenols that come out of it.
Yeah, I just made a pretty crip one too. He like gave me the GG4.
Yep.
And then I put my Ricky Retardo, which is a Thai indica from Thailand. I grabbed, and then I put a Sage and Purple Kush male back into that. So that went into the GG4, and it pulled the structure of the Thai indica. I'm tripping. I'm waiting for.
Yeah, he showed me the plant, and it didn't look like a GG4 leaf at all. You could. I was like,
oh nice.
I was surprised because usually GG4 dominates in crosses, and his male definitely took over
hard. The Thai indica, it pulled the Thai indica like. Dude, this one year in Thailand, dude, I was grabbing like just dead plants, like weed plants. I was like, holy shit. And I was stacking them, and I was like, could barely smoke the weed. It was such garbage. But like, I got like hundreds of seeds out of those just wild plants. And like one of them I got going right now still. Like it made the cut. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm such a freaking phenomenal like pure Adidas leaf, and it was like just these ultra hot pink hairs, and it like it's done in like 45 days, and it smelled like this weird like Thailand durian rotten fruit kind of thing, but sweet. Like I was like, whoa! And then I found this purple haze out of there too. And I bred it. It's not going right now, but that thing came out pretty. And then the rest were like complete garbage, like that I grew. I was like, oh, except for this one male, and then this other one that he's seen. It was like it would be like buds. It would be like stems with pods all over it. Remember that?
Oh, the pod thing.
That Thai
Yeah.
strain. Yeah, I took that Thai male and put it into my big Thai. Like it's called big Thai or big nom, but big bud Afghani with that weird. I think that Thai strain was crazy. It'd be like, I mean, if I grow them, the only thing they just take so long, but it's like a bud is just like a bunch of little sticks with pods all over it. That's what makes the bud. You can like pull off a stick and go, and it's all pods and just smoke pods.
And I think the purple monkey punch dog patch would be pretty crazy too. The
Oh yeah, dude, it's for
funk, and
all that
fields,
old stuff
everything,
together. Yeah, be a weirdo for sure. Trying to breed
So like
weirdos.
flowering times on it. Is there anything that's specifically short that they might want
Cherry
to know
pie, the
about?
cherry pie would be faster. So anything with the pie in it is going to be quicker. So like PMP cherry pie, you could probably pull it at 60 days, maybe 55. But I would say give it 60. Most of the crosses should be in that 65,
Yeah,
60, 65. The haze one might go 70. The GMO one might go 70.
Yeah,
And the crippy one might go 70. But everything else should be
like
60, 65.
65, yeah.
That's not bad at all. Even the haze crosses. I mean, I'll go
His
70.
sativas are wicked quick. Like
Yeah, because
they're not
bred
slow.
stuff into them. Yeah, like I bred the slowness out because that's all I had back in the day. You know what I mean? When I'd be growing, we'd be growing all these crazy.
He hasn't got. He's got maybe some 90-day ones, but not ones that like.
Not too much.
Yeah, they're all in the like 60, 65.
I have the big bud with God's gift, and that thing is slow. That's the only one I have that's like, but big bud would took like 80 days. Like if you could pull it like most people pull it young. I'd always be like, oh, you pulled it too early, because if you let it go that extra 10 to 15 days, it starts like coming like corn cobs.
Yeah, and the hairs disappear and the
Dude,
pods just
it's like and they're big long buds too. They're like arms, you know what I mean? And it's like crap, like
I
super
think it was Kauai, Hawaii, or Kapa'a, Hawaii. So Kapa'a High, like Kapa'a, Kapaahi. I think that was the PMP to the kryptonite. So the kryptonite is a Crippy BX 3 or 4. I can't remember specifically, but he already hunted it and found a killer lime pheno.
Just like
and then I fumbled it. So
smelling.
we've already seen that the terps are like.
We're like, oh, I was like,
yeah,
oh,
Crippy has some lime to it, but not like what his did to it. It fucking amplified it. Like I never seen it before.
It's like a kaffir lime leaf, like right off the tree when you squeeze it and break it, like when you're about to make Thai food. It's like that.
Like as strong as the lemon lips is lemon, it was that, but lime.
But like limey, yeah, it was super critical.
So that's in that line 100%. And we did cross that pheno. That's why I was trying to say the box set is so special. Is Ricky already hunted the PMP kryptonite, found that crazy lime outlying phenotype throwback, and then we crossed it back with more crippy into it. So it should be locking in that lime with some gas. So if you're talking like an instant, easy to sell thing, that's it right there. Or just you want to smoke the shit out of it.
I just think of all the crosses we made, all the weirdos that you could find within that seed pack though. There's gonna be something special that's like there's always something when you cross that kind of that much genetics into each other, there's always gonna be something that's really gonna stand out. Like I usually will pop like 4 or 5 seeds, but before I would pop all 10, you know, but now I'm like, frick, I end up like getting a whole bunch of things that are real similar, and I don't want to have to be like fighting about like which one I'm gonna keep, and they're pretty much identical, you know. That's like I did that a lot. Like that's I'd rather just pop like 5 at a time and be like, okay, boom, right there.
And I still think Purple Monkey Punch to the runts would really
Oh,
in
that's
today's
pretty crucial.
market, like I promise you guys,
Oh, it's gonna be gnarly.
the PMP is gonna bring a more racy, fun effect to it. Blow the buds up real nice and big. Still have beautiful color, resin production, and then there should be nice sour candy gas definitely in there from the runs.
Oh, I think if this smells together, it's weird.
It's gonna blend
It's gonna
really
be
good.
pretty dope. Yeah, like it's something unique. Like pretty
That'd be,
much all the
that'd be one of
strains
my
somebody
top
has.
ones.
Yeah,
I'm just saying on the whole list, if I was gonna
Yeah.
have something
you
for
want
like
that
an indoor to like
Yep.
market a cut for big dollars, that would be the one
Totally.
where I was like, you guys thinking about it? I was like,
Pretty much.
that thing would make big bread to like the right facility because if they didn't have to hunt it
Yeah.
and you could guarantee free a light of that candy gas, they'd be like sold.
Just be like, here, just pop 50 seeds one time. Even
I'm
25,
just
you
saying,
find like
we
so
can.
many out of there.
I'm gonna have room to pheno hunt again here soon,
Yeah,
so I'm popping all the lemon stuff to try to make my lemon menu this coming year.
yeah.
And I was gonna try to pick one of our things and pick, I was thinking the grimace runs or the PMP runs. I don't know.
PMP rounds, I would say, would be
Yeah.
probably. We already talked about it. Might as well.
Well, that's why.
Maybe just put it out in the air now.
Yeah, I've seen people in the comments saying Grimace runs a couple times already, so I feel like they're waiting for the Grimace runs. That's what I'm getting from the chat.
Oh, all right. What was Grimace runs?
The perp shake.
Oh, dang. Yeah. Well, yeah, that makes sense too.
Well, this is different.
Maybe
It's
do
totally
do 5
different.
of each.
Well, if you think about it, it's totally different than the PMP.
Yep.
And if we start breeding crosses off of that, then it's like a whole new.
Oh, the perp
Yeah.
vanilla shake is already.
We can still do. No, but I'm saying we can leave it just as it is, right?
Yeah.
But what if it's like that? Just makes it even more crazy.
Well, also the Patang R2, it's in PMP and it's in this perp, so it's like it's crazy to see the difference.
There's too many good.
There's
There's too many good things that you guys got to understand. Is like
yeah,
it's about limited space, and when you're limited on space, you try to optimize your space. But there's only so much we can do at the end of the day.
plus there's still like another
We got
7
Grimace runs.
strains we didn't even try yet from our original
Let's go. What up?
like our original stuff, like the Death Bug Vanilla Shake and then the Perb and then the PMP. Those are like there's only 3 that we've actually tried, and there's like 6 more.
Everything
The first
we
test that I
made
bought
is
for your,
guaranteed winners.
Oh, and there's Jack and
100%.
Jack
So
Caramel,
it's like
yeah.
it really just comes down to what you like. Like the PMP is like a modern day purple haze variant. It's not dead on, but
No, it's its own thing.
it's its own thing.
Really dope. Like,
But it's like you could market it in the essence of it's like a Hawaiian purple haze if you're trying to give a description to it.
yeah.
And putting it with all these other varieties, the GMOs, the papayas, the crippies, the cherry pies, the runts. It's a win-win for everybody because you're bringing modern day what people are already asking for, and then something that's like a traditional classic that maybe people never got to try, and you're like, damn.
Yeah.
So then it's like it's a win for anybody.
They're making good combos too. Like the stuff
Totally.
coming out of them, I'm stoked. I'm like, oh, these are cool, man. Like,
And then if you want the pure old school, we got that too. A lot of people are very specific about they don't want this or that in their genetics, and I get it. We don't need to end up in 20 years and everybody's like, blame 808 genetics that runs is in everything.
I mean, obviously, people should realize how good it is if they
No,
don't
I know, but I'm just saying you don't want to end up in a world where even if it's that
No
good,
doubt.
it's in everything. You gotta have,
No doubt, bro.
yeah.
100%. I'm excited. Like I said,
I love runs. I love
what
runs,
you
but there
guys
are
are gonna
things I
have
like
fun
more
with.
than runs.
Yeah.
So you don't want it in everything, but it is really good with a lot of things. So
if you guys want to send me the menu over, like I can get that stuff up too, or however you guys.
yeah,
want to do
we
it.
can send the menu over. I think the wife is back, but she closed the door on us, so I have to call her back in.
Because I have the logo, I could take myself off the screen and let you guys talk for a second and actually have it set up and probably throw. Well, I can promise you guys I'll have it on by tomorrow sometime. I could sit here and
Well, I
do it
can
right
get the
now.
wife to come in, and she should have the list. She can just email it to you.
All right, let's do it then.
And then, because I can
Let's
probably
do it.
figure it out, but I'm just all like lazy right now.
I know that herb went right to my eyeballs. I was like, oh damn, it's the eyeball weed.
All right, you're gonna think that I see you guys, but I'm actually doing something. I'm gonna try to get some of the stuff up on the site right now, at least the logo and everything set up the section. And then if she wants to send it over, I can get everything up there pretty quickly.
I gotta grab a different strain real fast.
Give me one.
Ricky's like, damn it, Jace.
Sleep over here.
Yeah, it's not even supposed to be the sleepy time tea. That's the like
Yeah.
mid-afternoon lemonade relax.
That's like the like go right to your eyeballs.
I know.
You're out.
I love that kind of weed though, because then my eyes stop stressing when they just relax. Like
And Cannabis, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna probably have you, Tino, and in-house all come in at the same time. So just hang out. You don't have to wait.
and thanks for having us on, Dark.
Yeah, right on. Thank you, man.
Like I said, you guys should grab any of our crosses. He's a local legend out here in Hawaii. Like, you guys gotta look at it like this. I looked up to a handful of people growing up with the weed community. Ricky was one of the first guys after my dad passed away that like came out with a new strain where you're like something that wasn't a Hawaii electric, Hawaiian skunk, elephant, the standard like
Yeah,
the
that's all
duck
the
foot,
stuff I
like,
used to grow.
we all have these standard things right in Hawaii, and Ricky actually like got some reefer man stuff and some whatever, bred this thing, and I'm over there, you know, like I'm a weed snob at this point of life, and I'm like, yo, 100% whoever said this guy bred this is he's on, because I ain't ever seen this from nobody.
Yeah, if I've been breeding that same.
And that was
strain
where it
one
was
month-
like I wanted to find out who he was. You know what I mean? I'm like, I need to meet this guy. And then my good friend Kaika, who passed away, we should eventually name a strain for him, possibly. But we'll talk about that off the line. He was growing a bunch of Ricky's One Love. I think he got the cut from like Lecoq or something. And then,
Yeah, actually.
yeah, probably, there you go. Probably got from Don, which we'll leave that to the
Yeah,
side.
that's a whole nother
But
thing.
my homie was growing it, and I pressured him like, "Where the hell did you get this from?" And then right there, he's like, "Oh, it's this guy's Ricky's cut." And then right there, it was like I wanted to find out who he was because I wanted to basically shake his hand and be like, "Good job," because like Hawaii was known for new strains and breeding shit, and like the weed market on Kauai was kind of stagnant until Ricky came out with the One Love, the 808 Bub, and the
Super Silver.
he just like brought a bunch of shit, and it was like,
females.
there we go, we got new shit on the market. It's
Straight
not just
from the top
repeat.
busted me. Yeah, and then the One Love was nuts because that was when THC won Cannabis Cup in Amsterdam with the Sage. So I had that. That was the female. Then I took Reefer Man's Love Potion, which was Santa Marta Colombian Gold crossed with G13, and I put that male into that thing. And I was stoked because you could only buy 3 or 6 packs of seed from Reefer Man. It was like 3 for $60 and 6 for $120. But dude, the one of the females, it was crazy. It was 100% G13. Then the other female was 100%. What's it called? Santa Marta Colombian Gold. It was insane. Sorry.
You said you had crossed the GG4 cut or something. Are those seeds?
Oh, with my Ricky Ritardo?
Somebody's asking.
I could let a few packs of that go, actually.
So right there, he says yes. There could be a couple packs.
Yeah, I'll let some packs of that go because it's dope. It should get out there.
So yes, he has his GG4 Ricky Ritardo.
Yep.
Right, you should call it on the retarded gorilla.
I was gonna call it the retarded gorilla. That is so funny. Jake knows me too good already. Yeah, it's the retarded gorilla. So that's like exactly what it is.
Oh, you guys
All right,
heard it here first on the Dark.
I have the section set up. All I need to do is get the list, and I can throw everything up there. Just know that, you know, the logo. I use the logo that Jake sent me.
He's not here. Let me see if I can figure it out.
But it will literally only take me a couple of minutes. As long as I can copy and paste it right in there, we could pretty much have the whole thing up and ready for people to get tonight.
Cool. Yeah. Wish everybody good luck with all that. Yeah. Yeah. Good things going on, boy. Yeah. We'll be on the
Might come out, Mom, if I do all. Yeah, don't forget the sprayer, yeah.
Hey, if you guys have any questions at all, that's why we're here, man. Feel free in the comments, whatever it is, how he grows, grow style, man, Hawaii. Questions about whatever you guys want. Now is your chance to do it because I've had these guys an hour already. I know in-house, Kanatai, Tino are probably going to come in, the 3 of them at one time. So you're going to have 4 of us to answer questions about a whole nother, you know, whatever other topics we get into once these guys leave. But Hawaii, genetics, history, you know, whatever you guys want to ask, now is your chance to ask right now. And I'm going to get the Instagram just ended. Let me put the Instagram back up. So
you guys don't realize, man, like the early days in Hawaii, dude, it was really like, dude, it was so hard to get genetics. Like the only way you'd find them is out of like seal meal bags, like the 1 finger or 2 finger bags. It'd be like $50 or $100 bags, and like if you found some seeds from some of that crib bud, you're like, oh shit, sick, you know. But it was really hard back then. Guys did not want to let their strains go, and they would stay in the family. You know what I mean? Like some of the kids would commit suicide, and then they're like, oh fuck, he's not going to be the grower now. Like what? Who's going to take that job? Like it's kind of nuts before, like especially on some of the outer islands, because like back in the day, it was 400 an ounce for good weed, and they were selling it for 350, you know, and to the boys for 300. So it was like that took care of like so much people, like for a while, like all the trimmers and all that. And
No doubt, man. That's how it was. Listen, for anybody that's old enough, if you got a bag of some kind bug, crippy, dank, whatever you called it, Jerome, whatever you called it where you lived, we called it crippy. You were stoked. You know,
yeah,
it was rare, really rare to like come across and get
You
seeds.
should
or
have.
something.
oh yeah,
It just
we
didn't
mostly
happen.
got yeah, we would have Mexi for most of the year. Like
Your
sometimes we'd do
YouTube ended,
Mexi,
dude, or your IG ended. Just so you know.
Yeah, I'm getting it back. You guys don't realize right now I can't see you guys at all. I'm sitting here trying to do stuff on the lap. I'm trying to get it. Yeah, I'm getting that.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I know you probably think I can see you guys, but I can't
That's
see you guys
the
right
R1
now.
right there.
As in, I guess I was like,
Yeah,
I was gonna say, I always do it wrong though. I'm
you
like
could just tell.
R2,
Yeah,
R1.
R2 is
I'm like,
different.
fuck.
R2 is a little more dankier. Like when you smoke it, like it's hard to hold the hits in. It just like, dude, it's a grabber. It's like super grabber.
Grab Nation.
Yeah. I don't know that R1 Love Cake though. That thing smells just like the 80s. I'm tripping on the smell of this one I just made. It's fucking. I'm just really happy about it. Like,
So Dark should have the list. Go grab up some of those stuff, you guys, if you want it.
All right, I got the list. Let's go.
yep, and soon.
Oh, okay.
got my-
Are we gonna list? We're gonna list. So we're gonna have 19 strains. We're gonna list everything on here. I got you. All right,
Yeah, you should just put everything up.
let's do it.
do it. Get it out there. I think people will be stoked. I'm pretty sure. Like,
They're all right.
kind of no brainer at this point. Like looking at it all, I'm really like, wow, they're all like everything that everybody shows us. I'm like, dude, I wish I had space. So I'm still trying to pop all my stuff. Like, you know, like I've got like piles of seeds that I want to see. Like, and I can't do it all at once. It's crazy. I just did another 15 pack of some new stuff. That should be dope. But the cherry pie PMP's in there. That's amongst them.
Yeah, run down the list as I'm doing this because this is gonna take me a couple minutes. Why don't you just run down the list?
Okay, so you guys,
You know, we'll just do that.
it's Black Friday. I'm not saying that we're gonna be able to cut any better deals than we already are, but let's just say you have 500 to spend. Maybe me and Ricky can figure a way to get you guys some bonuses. I don't know what those would be, but I would go Blue Baboon, Grimace Runts, Purple Cherry Punch. Oh, Dark, don't put the Kauai Limes up though if that's on there.
Don't put the Kauai limes. Got you. All right, I'll take that
Okay,
off.
sorry. So that's 3. Did I say Purple Monkey Runts? Should I gotta start over? Blue Baboon, Grimace Runts. Can't say Kauai Limes or I'd pick it. Purple Cherry Punch, Purple Monkey Runts. So that's 4.
Oh, damn.
And 5. I'd probably go the Purple Monkey Super Berry Butter, just to be different. But
I mean, there's so many good ones on there. It's like
that's why
like
it is hard to
overwhelming.
pick.
Yeah, it's kind of overwhelming.
And I did add the Jack and Rumps from on the list. I remember that.
Oh, damn, dude. We didn't see that one then. That's
That's
gonna be
gonna
dope.
be a mean one.
I just pulled a really good Jack outdoor, and the thing is crucial. Like, it's literally like I'm like, oh, this is just like what I remember in Amsterdam, dude. Same flavor, everything. That Shiva skunk kind of
And we do have
sweet flavor.
the Monkey Magic, which does have the lemon, the mom of the lemon lips in it. So that if you guys want that lemon type, it definitely is going to be in that Monkey Magic as well.
Yeah,
Lots of great options. Like I said, it's hard to really pick.
Yep, there's a lot of good ones for sure.
The Cherry Cushmans, Purple Monkey Punch Cherry Cushmans, the Fozzie Bears, you know.
I mean, yeah, guys are growing the Fozzie Blue. There's one guy I know for a fact that is growing it out there on the East Coast, and he said everybody that smokes it really likes it because it's the high is like in between both worlds, but it's still like a productive kind of high. You know what I mean? It's like real nice and happy and like bodily and all that. The way they're describing it.
Yeah, so some real winners will be found in there, and like if you have a genetic company, I mean, dude, that's a great way to get a whole different vibe is to bring some of these genetics into your lines. So whether you're a home gardener, a producer of genetics, whatever, like his stuff is legit, unique, and very productive. Easy to root, easy to clone, easy to grow.
I am going to keep putting this stuff on. I'm not going to keep these guys too much longer, but I promise you guys it'll be on tonight sometime. If there's a specific strain you guys want, you can let me know. I can make sure it's up there right now. I just know I kept them a little bit longer than expected already, and I think that
I can back out whenever you want. I know you got other homies waiting.
Just let me know when you see in-house or Tino. In-house or Tino, if you're in here now, let me know. I can continue to put the stuff up until they come in. You know, if you want to continue to talk about
I didn't add. We got the box sets as well. So the box sets comes with the Kauai limes, and then they basically can pick any of the other 9 strains. But what we could do is we could have them, maybe because it's Black Friday, if they grab one of the box sets, we could add like 2 or 3 extra picks, so they end up with like 13 or something.
You know what I can do? I could simplify this. I'm actually doing it where I'm doing one item at a time. I can just list it all, and they can pick a number for now, and I'll go back to it. So that's what I'm going to do.
I would just list it all as one.
That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so
I'm going to maybe have an option for the box set where it's 1,000. I could eat, but maybe not. I don't know.
So we choose how many. What would it be? Because if they're at 100, how many?
I would say Ricky's back. So Ricky, because it's Black Friday, what if we did 13 packs in the box set at 1,000?
Yeah, all right.
They get 3 extras.
Sick, right there.
Okay. I think that's what we do is they pick 13, but just put Kauai limes as like box set exclusive because we don't have a lot of it and it's very special.
All right.
I know PMP Electrics. I didn't even
Do we have PMP and Kauai Electric on there?
No, I don't think so.
We might have done that though. It would have been Purple Monkey Punch Kauai Boy. I bet you we did. How's he doing?
Playing a hand somewhere. He's always talking shit. What's wrong with man?
Tell him the kind Bass is blowing it up.
Yeah, he probably knows already. Like he knows like way more than me. I'm still like,
oh yeah. Bass is going huge, and he's gonna have like 8-pound plants.
yeah.
So my 6-pounders will be tiny.
That's so funny, dude. Yeah, he's done here. Yeah.
Oh, dude, he's got 15 acres. Like, hello. He's ready to just do seeds and bud, and that's his job.
Yeah.
Like, smart. He's good at it. So
yeah.
It's like, stay at it.
Yeah. Don't let any weirdos down in here.
Exactly.
Let the weirdos in, and all some.
Well, I already
like,
worked the deal with Browns to work a crop up there for us. So we can have like one fresh frozen from there.
Keep bronze up there.
Yeah.
Keep him out of trouble.
Keep him busy.
He's like, do you know who I think I am?
Dave Scott is legit. So yeah, we got all these fire things available. Yeah. Purple Monkey Haze, if you're looking for old schools. Purple Monkey Punch to the Blueberry, the Blue Baboon, if you're looking for old schools. If you're looking for more new school vibes, obviously, we got a bunch of different ways, and I already kind of gave you guys my input on that. You got any that stand up to you that you'd say half the pop kind of stuff?
I mean, frick, dude.
You just had to pick 3 to 5.
Yeah, but I was saying PMP Blueberry would be dope, but that's just me. I would want to find a blueberry terp for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you have a crit blueberry terp, but like on the PMP bud structure, you're just psychic.
I mean, probably purple cherry punch.
Yeah. Well, you said you already popped that one.
Yeah, I got 3 of them going. That's why, probably purple monkey runs too.
That's what I'm saying.
Because you're saying that, so we got to go with one of those. Purple papaya punch might be kind of ill too, though.
The one homie already grew it, and he said it's crazy.
Oh, see, somebody already grew it.
He had to re-veg it because he was just like,
Oh, you want to stay at the bomb?
because it had the
Yeah.
papaya terps, but then the P&P terps too, and then it just looked like it would. He said it looked like it would wash. It felt like it would wash. So
Oh, the combo what we smoked just like totally lit me up. That's crazy. Like
yeah, and support you guys. Ricky's the man. He's been producing fire genetics forever, creating stuff where like we get new flavors, inspired. Like straight up, he inspired me to want to make new flavors because, you know,
I just wish I could have preserved like older stuff, but I was like, dang, I didn't get it back in the day. You know, like everybody always like, oh, I'm always gonna have this. You know, you get seeds, but you always lose it. And then like every year we go and trim up, like when we go trim in Humboldt, like, oh, you don't have that this year. They're like, oh, it's kind of different because you know, but like you know now it's different because we often take snips. That's being able to like not waste your seed and actually find dope shit and just like
when you
take
find the
bounces
winners
around,
and
you're
you
like,
just
oh, now
run
I
it
don't have
back.
to really. That's why I only pop 3 or 4 seeds at a time because I'm like, I already have like
He's
like
worked his
10 to 12
genetics to the
winners that
point of the so
critical
much
right now.
winners.
Yeah, I'm not worried.
And
Like,
in your 808, we worked our stuff where it's winners. You're going winner, but you're going a
Yeah.
completely different era,
yeah,
and then you're merging those
so I'm
two
looking for
eras.
one type of weed, and he's like got the other one, so we're putting those two together.
So if
We're
he wants
like,
all the update,
the psychedelic-y, like
yeah.
like old trippy hippie weed, like you know, old high times, like any high times 99, 2000 and down. If you look at the genetics, and before like the war on weed, before they took it all had a certain look to it, and a lot of that kind of weed, especially the real hazes, were like gnarly. You know, you put the joints out because you're like, frick, I'm like really really stoned, like stoned in a different way. You know, where you're like high. You're like, I don't know. This I'm always looking for that kind of high. Like that's what I'm looking for. Like, but he's got the other one, so to
He's
put
got
them together,
racy
rad.
heady. He's got like the racy heady stuff, and
Yeah.
I focus more on the like narcotic pain reliever like side
Yeah.
of the weed. So we do have stuff that I don't want to say is uplifting. We have daytime and nighttime
Yeah,
narcotic strains, and he's got a bunch of just like
productive,
euphoria.
artistic. Weird,
Yeah.
like yeah, let's surf. Let's like make beats. Let's draw. Let's like do shit. You know, like the kind of weed that get you up and get you going.
Let's
I
go.
think it just shows you different eras though. Like I feel like my generation, there's so much opiate abuse and just that whole trip that people are looking for those like sleepy time specials, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, in-house, you can tap on that and come in anytime you want. Real quick, Tino, Kanatai, in-house, I think you can click on the link I just put in the chat. It'll bring you in. I'm just going to load up one more thing real quick, so I'm not going to be able to see. But if you guys can come in as soon as you'd like at this point. Let me try to, I'm going to get the box set up. So the whole rest, the single packs are up. You guys can go get them right now. You're going to put your number in the notes at checkout, and I'm going to put the box sets up right now.
Put a note. Did you put a note of a 3-piece? They got a 3-piece.
I put comes with 808
every pack. Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's gonna be one of our collab things,
Okay.
so they can get a different
Okay,
thing
so-
that they're buying to try.
Oh wait, I gotta do one. Yeah, give me just let me know if you see those guys coming at the bottom of the screen so I can let them in. If anybody comes in, just let me know. I'll pull them up on
That's
the
a good
screen.
combo.
That was a critical combo.
That's
It's
why I
only
want
gonna
to
take me.
like lemon lips, because if I had a male,
Yeah.
and anyone that wants to add that perk to their thing, you're like, there you go.
Flavor. That would be so weird for me to bring that back again in my life.
You should put it to the
Fuck,
R2.
That'd be like the 5th time that I had like that kind of syrup. I'd be like, ah. But it wants to be, and
It wants to be by you.
It does. It always finds its way back. I'm like, why? Like I'm like it's like the girl that like
It's not as bad as Tangy though. There's no way, dude.
It's
Like I like the lemon flavor way more than Tangy. Like Tangy,
it's just like, oh, it's
Tangy to
so
me
weird,
is just like anything Tangy. I'm like, okay, but is it different or is it the same? If it's the same, I'm like, nah.
yeah.
And then like the lemon thing reminds me of the lemon. I never seen the
smells
P.
like other stuff.
I never seen the P Funk or the C4, but I saw the
Yeah, no, I
the lemon diesel, and that was like the first time we seen out there.
And then I got the pine after that. The C4 came from Reefer Man. I bought C4, I bought Sugar Warp, and I bought Love Potion.
Okay.
And then I was trying to get this one called the Apple Pie.
That's what you're telling me.
Paco Acapulco Gold was something, and I had the Willie Nelson too. But dude, I was like, that was the last one I needed in the collection. Oh yeah, and then I got his Mountainous Thunderfuck that totally wasn't even the one. So I got the one from the dude on the boat that I told you about. Top hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that went into my Ricky Retardo. That's what made Dewberry. But dude, this Mountainous Thunderfuck, dude, like, it was pretty critical. It was white, like, you know what I mean? I think he said it was a Ruderalis strain. But I don't know, man. That shit was crazy. It's like over there in Alaska, their long season is long because they have like 24 hours of light basically. Oh, imagine that shit. They just got like 20-foot just stacking like freaking
Plants that never finish.
What? Yeah, I know, because when it goes dark, it just is like boom, and then all of a sudden it goes dark.
Yeah.
So it finishes fast.
Oh, that's
It gets huge.
It gets big in the
fast.
quarter days every day for like.
Yeah. Then it's all of a sudden it's just like it doesn't get dark at all, or it doesn't get light at all. At one point, it just stays dark once. It's like, what? I gotta see that. It's freaking crazy, dude.
All right, the box sets are up. Let me just go back and make sure on the single packs I got it in both your guys' sections.
All those box sets are gonna be super dope, guaranteed.
Yeah, the box sets are ill, exclusive stuff in there, and we're throwing in 3 extra packs. So it's like
that is crazy,
super
man.
bonus action. Black Friday, tap in. The Ricky Show 808. We provide stuff that unique to the world. I guarantee that.
Yep, and dude, like even when I first started grabbing strains out of Amsterdam, like all the Cannabis Cup winners every year, dude, nothing was less than $250 for a 10-pack of seeds. That's just how it was. But you would get a 3-pack of this guy called Sam the Skunk Man Breeder, and there'd always be these like skunk whatever the fuck it was. But dude, they'd always be like your like 120-day strains guaranteed. Like every time, I never found anything skunky out of them. But I did cross one of them because it had a dope smell. It wasn't skunky, but it was like nice. You know, you're like, oh, that thing actually had like that's a crazy smell to it. Like,
What's up, in house?
What up?
yo,
What up?
Going down with you guys.
Here.
Get a little bit in the frame here.
Well, thank you for having us on, Dark. Ricky usually can't make it live, but he's live. So if you guys have questions, hit him out.
Yeah.
Then he's got his little drum waiting on him too.
All right, just give me 1 sec. Let me just make sure this is finished totally before I pop out because I can't see you guys right now. So just give me 1 sec.
Can't see it? Oh no.
What happened?
great list right there.
I said you can't see it?
It's more than
Yeah,
that.
more.
I can't
yeah,
see it. I looked down at the phone. No, I can't see you.
Just to introduce.
Only
that.
because I have a different screen up. I'm trying to put some stuff on the
I gotta
side
go,
while
but-
they're in here. That's the only
Check it out
reason.
later. There's way more space. I was thinking we could set up like a little bench on him and that.
Yeah.
Because imagine if we had
See
a
that?
bench on the size of one of these.
I can see you on there, but I can't see you.
Yeah, like
Whatever.
Nah.
But,
This thing's radical. Yes.
all right, so that's
It's big right now. I'm just like
one more
oh my
thing,
God.
and then I'll let you go. Canatai, the link's up there. Tino, the link's up there. You guys want to come in?
Yeah.
Join on in.
Yeah, I'm also figure we just see, you know what I mean? You know, staff I am figure it out, you know. What's the worst that's gonna happen? We're gonna find something dope that we fucking let slide through our head. And then you're like, fucking run it back.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, we got 1 seed left.
Do it again. Oh, dude.
Oh, torch,
Check
obliterators.
Dude, yeah, I'm really stunned right now. I like this. Like flashbacks hell.
That's why I want to breed with the lemon mints because I think it's not as sleepy as some of my other stuff because of the citrus, you know. But
Going
it's still,
good with
it's
the
still
R1.
still relaxing. So it's like you put it with your stuff and you could have a stony relaxer, but you're not like blacked out snoring.
Yeah,
you know,
no, you're out still, but you're like,
Oh, it didn't do the whole. Oh man. Listen, the box sets are up. Hold on, I need 1 more minute. I knew it was. Just give me 1 more minute. Let it pain in my ass.
And thank you for all you do, Dark. You're the man.
yeah, thank you. Appreciate it, man.
You got it. Absolutely no. All right.
And I'll just say Circus Monkey. I looked past that one. Purple Monkey Punch to the Animal Cookies BX4.
Yeah, that'll be pretty.
That would be
nuts.
crazy because of the density of the cookies and the structure of the PNP together with the cookie structure. Yeah, it's gonna be
It'd
silly.
be like Foxtail Rocks.
Yeah. Like,
Be like
warriors,
fucking
warriors,
with them.
spears.
Yeah,
Like
dude.
poking with it.
That'd be sick. Yeah.
All right, so I gotta take off.
I know I have a whole strain from Maui right now, and it's full donkey dick. And it's like, oh wow, I haven't grown those strains for so long. I bred out of those, but this one, like, I'm gonna keep it original.
We should put up a competition for them to make it fun. I was thinking,
Oh,
what if the competition is whoever finds the winning like phenotype? Well, I don't know how we pick the winning phenotype.
That'd be hard.
How about the most liked photo of the fucking strain, and we'll hook you guys up with some extra stuff that we've crossed.
Give them a bonus pack.
Yeah, just to like,
The winner.
yeah, give them like incentive to want to hunt it. You know what I mean? Because we know what's in there. We want them to be like, yeah, let's fucking run this, because we've already seen every single thing we've hunted, everything that anyone showed us from it. Kill.
Yep, I know. Pretty much.
But like, look at how the one guy that showed us the PMP blueberry,
That one himself, I didn't think
PMP
about
blueberry,
that.
super skunk blueberry.
Yeah,
Like both those killed.
yeah.
I think the one guy around the PMP papaya one, that thing was major. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Fozzie Bear killed the PMP, obviously, every time we run it. Slams.
Plus, we never caught feedback from the one dude that had the 50.
Yeah, the guy Nick.
Yeah.
Does anyone know if
That's fair.
Phenotype Farmers is still on IG? I gotta try to find his account.
They it'd be interesting to see who's left. There was a seemed like there was a big, huge sweep the past couple of weeks to get rid of a ton of cannabis content. That's what it appears like.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, he
I
lost
know.
his page.
That sucks. I'm sorry you lost your page, man.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, look, you don't go near fire not expecting to sweat. I had a feeling that page was going to go down I'm surprised it lasted as long as it did, because it got reported on the daily. But what actually took it down, because they took 3 accounts plus my personal account and some other accounts that were just sitting in the ether building up, they took them all in one swoop. And then when I inquired about it a little bit closer, so, somebody that could tell me, they said what it was flagged because of because it could be deemed, there's a name for it, but I guess the account has been flagged for a while because of the content, like almost like without saying it, but it's like the misinformation tag, because of some of the political posts and stuff like that.
I thought the First Amendment blocks all that. Nah, not
No.
for us, though.
Not with terms of service. So that's how they get around it, is the term of service aspect of it. That's how they get around it. But I mean, it's like anything. If people want to find you, they'll come find you, and you'll build it back up. It's not, it's not the end of the world. Who I do feel bad for is the folks that have been grinding it out for years, putting in work, and they don't have necessarily the name notoriety, so it's much harder for them to get their account back up and the people to find them, because they either had a unique name or it was their name. Those are the ones that I really feel for,
Yep.
Yeah, we lost a 30,000 follower. My Super Kawaii account. People are all like, "Where did Super Kawaii go?" And you're like, "I tried to keep that name, and my accounts kept getting deleted. 30,000, 10,000. I gave up with that name and just did the 808 genetics already."
Yeah, that's who I really feel for, because obviously your brand has recognition, in-house brand has recognition, same with Darkstar, everybody that's on here. But for the person that is just gaining followers, just from networking and all that, it's next to impossible for them to get a lot of their folks back, or where anybody can necessarily find them. That's really what's unfortunate.
I think it just is a lose-lose for everyone, because it's the cannabis community is just trying to do good stuff, and you got people that can't get in touch with each other, and then it sucks.
It's also what's frustrating is there's a case to be made that the cannabis community is the most accepting, diverse community that's on any platform at the moment, right? So
In the world.
it's like come one, come all. It doesn't matter what your background is, doesn't matter what your creed is. There's no religion, there's no borders. It's made up of everybody that's growing a plant, which makes up so many personalities and so many traits, and it's a cool place. That's why I think they're on the wrong side of history, and as time goes on, they'll recognize that they're on the wrong side of history.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yo, there's 19 for the person asking the question. I put 19 on the site, just so you know, because I see your question a couple times. 19.
Yeah, so there's like you can do like for instance, you can submit it to the review board, which is technically supposedly independent. There's ways to get it back and all that, but from my understanding, it was flagged. I mean, it actually, I can tell you, I can pull it up, but it had over 3,300 reports just in the past 6 months, but that's not what actually took it down. It was what they deemed as misinformation from the last few posts when I posted about the potential of cannabis reform through the Human and Health Services, and in addition to the potential potential ramifications and possibilities with the new administration coming in. That's what really set that thing, because as soon as I posted that, my account started acting super weird, and it became almost not functional for a number of weeks. But where the account really fell off, like where I had a major problem, was back when Hamlin, the football player, at the time, American Heart Association came out with a study that tried to say cannabis was one of the reasons for the myocarditis, and so I posted that, and in relation to the Hamlin thing, where I was like, it's kind of odd that people are just falling over, and then this was in front of millions of people. We should ask questions. I didn't mention anything about anything. I just we should be asking some questions. And ever since then, the account was stalled at
100% a
55,000.
form of control. They want to control the information. My phone's gonna die, but thank you, Dark. Right on in-house, right on Canatai. I gotta head out and say bye to Ricky as well. Much love to you guys. Big bless. Right on, Dark.
All right, man. Appreciate it, man.
I'll say bye to him, Dark. I'm gonna head out.
And everything's on the site now, guys. So you guys can all go to the site. All that's on the site now. Go grab it up.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's
Good thing,
hype.
808.
Yes.
All right. Let's
Morning
go.
time for you, Canatai.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get my bearings. I just went and dropped my kid off, or she's having a sports day today.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, 8:30 in the morning, bro. Time to get up. Rise and shine. Get some coffee.
I'm up. I already got that in. I'm good.
Okay. You seem very, very chill.
Very chill.
Back this morning.
Yeah, I gotta go here at 8 o'clock. I'm gonna go here at 8 o'clock and get a haircut.
That's funny. I'm getting my haircut today too.
Okay.
All right.
Let's go.
We'll compare later on. We'll get on and have a measuring contest.
Didn't you just have a hair? You just had a haircut. Your hair.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Didn't seem like it was that long ago.
Probably like 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago.
Yeah. My shit grows so fast, man. It's crazy. Like, I need a haircut so bad.
Look at that. I knew that Dark Star was coming to flex. Look at that.
Yeah.
Flexing
hair
them
is
locks,
long.
bro.
It's getting long, boy. It totally is.
My wife cut all
Oh,
mine.
man.
She cut all mine,
So-
and after that, it's been short ever since then.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what team. I figured we'd have all four of us in here for a little bit,
It's all good. What's going on with you, Canatai? This is like one of the first where I've been with you on a video chat where you're not eating something strange and odd from your village.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
I'll probably be heading out there soon. It's like it's mandatory.
Yeah.
She cooks it at nighttime. She always out in the plants all day, so I just go swipe it up. Otherwise, I'm going to interrupt her backyard projects.
It was looking good when you showed it. Where we were with Bee Creeper, I think we were on a live with him or a podcast with him.
Yeah. Potent's channel there.
Oh, that's probably why he called me earlier. I forgot. Yeah, he asked me to do that too.
Yeah, Creeper, you should go on there. I mean, it's fun.
You should go on there. It was fun.
They just kick back and talk shit,
Yeah, no, I will. I will. He tried calling me earlier, but I was busy. I think he does it on Wednesdays too, doesn't he? I can't remember.
Yeah, but they'll be
Yeah.
starting up with the 8:30. It says like 9 or 10, but sometimes they bullshit backstage for sometimes an hour before they go live.
Right, right.
Yeah, I liked it because it was good conversation, and then it's kind of a free flow, and the conversation takes a path. That's why I like a long form podcast. So you're starting out based around a topic, and then it morphs, and then and the amount of info and the amount of discussion that takes place over the course of 2-3 hours is really good. And then I like doing that, and that's because you're not constrained on time. You're not trying to condense everything into 20 minutes or 30 minutes or anything like that, because it allows a lot of insight, a lot of opinion, and a lot of discussion from everybody that's on it. 'Cause I think we had 6 people on there, and it was really good flow.
And you never know who's going to drop in there, man. You got, I've met a lot of cool people, and
Yeah.
I like to learn new shit. I mean, I've been up in this a long time, but I mean, I still learn new shit all the time, man. Especially when Pope was over here. That guy's a fucking master with no he can just see like any disease shit ASAP. He's really good with bug control. Everything really. Poten's fucking gangster, man. I mean, I had to tell him to put it in a layman terms because I didn't understand this shit. He's like scientific on it.
Yeah, that's like have Brandon Rust.
Brandon Rush, yeah. Yeah, no, there's a lot of really unique individuals out there. We had a really good conversation this morning. You were on for that. Darkstar popped in there for a little bit. We were going back and forth with the Canadians. That was a pretty good rockin' live and really good discussion, because we touched on Hutchinson disease or Huntington's disease. Sorry, and and Stoner's journey on that was pretty powerful, and to kind of hear that and have a little bit in depth and understanding of that was really cool. But I think that's like going into 2025. I'm excited for 2025 because I'm looking more towards those type of conversations, more of network, more community, more trying to look at solving some of these problems. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of people that are hurting out there, depressed and all that shit, and you want to kind of see what you can do to uplift that and kind of empower people along the way. So those conversations that we had this morning, I like those. I look forward to those type of conversations because they touch and impact so many people, all at once.
They really do. I like to jump in with her because we do have good conversations. She's become like a sister, more or less. I could joke around with her. We have good conversations, and she really needs help. So it's really nice to sit in there and try to bring people to her. Open up the people that she knows and try to find her some help as well along the way.
Well, it's a bit deeper too when you think about it. Is like she's talking to people that are going to pick up tidbits of information that they know, somebody that they know or themselves are in the same position or similar position, and it gives them opportunity to kind of go and share that information to other people, to go, hey, look, this might not help you or it may help you, but you should really hear this lady's story, because that's really kind of what she did. Is she just kind of covered like the footnotes of her story and how impactful and how it was for her, and just it went so like smoothly and flawlessly that it was really good to hear and get that insight, because I've only been on a live with her a couple of times, but it was never in that depth of that type of conversation. Plus, those morning conversations are pretty good because you're a bit more fresher. The day hasn't really worn you out, so you're more inclined to speak more freely and more more in depth about stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got Brazil.
Yeah, let's go. Legalize Brazil. Right?
Yeah,
Legalize the world.
I'm starting to kind of look and think outside, like different platforms like YouTube. YouTube, there's only so much. I'm looking at Rumble and looking at doing more of the X stuff, because the information that we're going to try to convey to people through like, say, as an example, Stoner's story is a great story and should be told and put on multiple platforms so that word gets out. But there's also, too, with that is YouTube would probably sanction that, or if you have a big account, they may try to demonetize you or label you as misinformation or something like that. But those type of people and those type of stories, I would love to see more of that get out, and taking our platform and taking what we have at our disposal and our resources, start creating that type of platform so we can get that type of information on a YouTube or a Rumble, so we can hit and touch and help as many people as possible. That's kind of my logic of thinking going into 2025, and I expect an uphill battle. I expect everybody being, from the trolls to the terms of services to everything being against it, and just a matter of keep pushing forward and persevering.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. A little bit.
You said they've been coming out this plant this last year probably harder than anything. 24 or whatever. It was bad, dude. With the whatever you call it, the shadow banning and shit like that. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, it is crazy. It is. I'm losing accounts, and
I'm shadow banned on all 3 platforms, dude. This platform, IG, as well as YouTube and Facebook. My shit's all shadow banned, and it's all from sharing pictures of this plant. That's why.
right. Yeah, that's
Well,
it.
that's the thing too. Is
forget about it.
That's the thing about it too, is that what's scary is they're just assuming that the plant is a cannabis plant and not recognizing that there's a plant that looks exactly like it that is hemp that has no THC in it.
Right.
I could see if you were trying to sell or try to use their platform along those lines, but the vast majority of people are just showing off what they've done in their work and aren't selling anything, and they're taking they're taking a brunt of the outlandish fucking terms of service.
Sales in my posts anywhere. I learned that right off the bat. You can't like type anything like that, because it'll definitely get your post taken down. So I don't do any of that. I just share pictures, and people, like, basically in the kingdom here, they already know from before it was off to Schedule 5 with the group that we had. So I don't have to post that. They already know what it's about. So it's just, you can't share it. You can't share the plant pictures, especially flower. I mean, when they're in flower, it's even worse.
Yeah, it really is. I have a specific page for it, which seems to be okay. But you just never know. Your page can be gone any minute, and it just shouldn't be like that. So
the answer to the chat's question, so FECO and RSO are 2 different situations. RSO is through alcohol and then evaporating on a stove at a simmer, and then FECO is through an ethanol process that is reclaimed through a rotary evaporator, and then the remaining of the alcohol purged off. That gets you FECO. So FECO is the full, basically full spectrum. To answer the question in the chat.
And I know this came up probably the last time we were in here for some reason. I feel like that question was asked before as well.
That was actually in a live actually, you know what? That question was posed in the live, which started the flat earth discussion. That's what happened. That's why that's why it sticks out in our head and we remember so well.
It definitely sticks out in my head. Yeah.
There's a connection to that. Oh yeah, I was actually kind of sad about that, on getting the accounts taken down, that they took my Flounder Earth account. I really like that account.
No.
I'm kind of more if I had to like walk you through my feeling when I woke up and said my accounts were suspended, I would say I was a little bit more like hurt by the flounder one going away, because I was like, oh, it had a little bit of meaning. It had some major meaning to me. Like a lot of memories, and then it was a reminder of a couple of weeks that I'll never get back in my life, arguing and having a discussion about science that's already established, proven
factual.
science. And,
yeah, we're not going to revisit it. No, guys.
But it goes to show how tolerant Darkstar and I are, that we will listen, and if we're in a live, we will discuss it, we will debate it, we will talk to you about it, and even at week's lengths if it needs to be. That's just it's our community service to everybody.
Yeah, we felt it necessary, and it went on for a while. If anybody that was in there, we apologize, but at the same time, the conversation needed to be had. It really didn't, but sort of did.
I don't think any of them have been about 36,000 feet. You get on a plane and you start to, you can see it with your own eyes.
You know what? We covered every aspect of it, even that.
We covered everything. Well, one thing that really stuck out, that really stung me in the heart, was I was realizing that the Founding Fathers has a gap now because that account is gone. So it's almost like I was going to have a funeral for it, or I wasn't 100% sure. But to be honest with you, when the account went down, I had a moment of zen, right? And I had a couple of days there where I was reluctant to start an account. I knew I had to start another account, but I was just kind of like, nah, because I even talked to you about it. I was like, yeah, I'll get around to it in the next couple of days. And then then I started another account, and it was like, same old bullshit. Like, didn't skip a beat.
No, definitely. Okay, yeah. Let us show our pretty flower. Oh yeah. On IG, yeah, for sure. If anybody wants to jump in, man, I put that up there. We can, like, I see there's Shire. I know a bunch of you guys. If you guys want to jump in and have a conversation, we could have up to 10 people in here. You guys are welcome, as long as we stick to the plan. We could talk about the flat Earth like a tiny bit.
No, absolutely not. I will exit immediately.
I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Yeah, I will exit immediately. I mean, that will be left in 2024. So,
yeah, that's behind us. I know, we're done.
But what do you got? Do you got any kind of tentative plans on? I like the new year. I've always liked the new year because it's kind of a sense of a new starting point, and you get to sum up and summarize the year prior, and then where everything went, where it went good, where it went bad, and where you're gonna correct. Have you thought about the new year at all?
I mean, my thing is daily. I really have done this thing for a while, and I know it's whatever. But every day I wake up and I hope that tomorrow is better than today. And like, I really do that daily. So I feel like my thing is just to continue really making, tomorrow a better day than today. Whether it be in business, relationships, whatever I can do to help people, especially. And lose some motherfucking weight, That's about it. That's it. I don't know. I really been stuck on that for a while. Like when I started to do that and do it daily in the morning, the days have been good. And I know it could be superstition or whatever it is, but I really feel like if you wake up with the intention for the day to be better and do better than you did the day before, things start to really happen. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I believe in that too. Like my mindset is, even on vacation or whatever, I have to, when I wake up, I'm already planning my next steps, right? Or you have an idea what you're going to do for the day, but you're also, what I've been doing for the past couple of months is taking a few minutes and kind of chilling with yourself for a second, and kind of it's not mentally preparing for the day. It's just you're logging in the previous day or the past couple of days, and that's helped out a ton because you don't over a period of time, you just kind of get the F it button, right? Like that's not a problem. That's no longer a problem. So
Kick the other one out. I don't know what I was doing.
What, the first one?
Yeah,
Wait, that one?
there we go.
Okay.
It was like echoing.
oh, maybe it's from me. I could go get headphones too.
No, it's because I had the YouTube going and I was in here, so it was like my phone was doing some weird shit.
The other
Yeah, I
thing you can do too is you can turn your volume down a little bit too. That'll help because it might be reverberating against something. But I don't know, like but yeah, but that's kind of everything comes down to mindset and how you prepare your mind for a lot of stuff and all that. So you're one of your goals is to get all buff and ripped in shape, because I have a tip on you. I have a tip for you if that's the case.
Lay it on me.
So
all tips welcome,
So somebody from the community recently just went to go meet somebody else in the community. And that second person they went to go meet kind of put the hammer down on the one person in the community. And it's inspired him to take the next 6 months and go get yoked out like Brock Lesnar and then come back and then see if it gets the same result in 6 months. That, I'm telling you, is great
That's not
ambition
even
for somebody.
that's not even the first time that's happened. Secret and Big White Earl, they're both super buff gym rats now. All because of that. Am I echoing? I'm gonna leave if I am.
No,
I don't hear it.
Okay, but no, dude, there's been a lot of people on here that got into fights and talk shit or whatever. I think Secret was with Line Worker.
Yeah.
And he called him fat or something. That fool's been going to the gym for like 2 years now. He's fucking yoked, all skinny, fucking bam, man.
Well, it's just it's inspiring. You just need somebody to inspire you.
Yeah.
So if it's
Yeah.
whether it's getting
Get some
slapped or punched in the jaw, or you just want to make a change or a shift, it's just a foot forward. And so, but yeah, I saw somebody in the comments earlier. Big shout out to them. They were like, "Brandon's really putting on that winter weight." Yes, it gets cold over here. Gets cold over here in Seattle, 100%.
I totally saw that. I was surprised they didn't say dark too, but yeah.
Yeah, we should get the boxing going again.
Let's go. I like to eat, man. I like to eat good. So it's like, I have no issue really, but I definitely I could use the fucking, lose a little weight for the New Year's. Not gonna lie. Probably.
Yeah. Well, I've been doing a bunch of. I've been doing a bunch of remodeling in my house, so basically framing and kicking drywall around and a bunch of other stuff so that in itself can really, whip you into something.
Yeah. I mean, besides that, I feel like we have a lot of, there's a lot of good things to come in the future. 2025 should be a really good year for all of us. We've come together. I feel like there's a lot of projects that we spoke about this year. Hopefully we see them come through next year, whether it's for home growers, the clones, the dispensary, all those things that you got going on. I feel like people should be really excited for 2025. The breeding, the new stuff, these guys, Tino, Kanatai, the new lines they have coming out. Kanatai being in Thailand, trying to bring some of his gear over here finally, or I'm sure there's some here already through Shaman, but I just feel like 2025 should be a really positive, good year for all of us.
Yeah, Kanatai is the man.
Let's go.
I think that I'm excited for I think, like I said, that I'm gonna lift and kind of shift more towards making 2025 the year of the home grow, a major resurgence, really focus on that group of people to the fullest extent, because there's so much good that's going to come out of it, but
that's right.
It sets everything. It sets the precedent and sets everything moving for the second half of this century, right? Because now we're at the midpoint of this century, and we can really make, we're all in a position now to where we can make some really great strides in these areas, and we have the communication with each other, we have the influence, and we have the respect of the community. So all the ingredients and everything is there. Now it's just that is to put it forward and make the second part of the century a great one. You know, even going into the
It's
new
not
year.
that home growers are the future, Shire. It's that home growers have always been everything. That's why the plant is at where it's at. It's all this other bullshit is pulling it down.
Mhm.
And we got to get back to progressing the plant. That's what I'm going to start focusing on, is getting more people involved in big group of home grows, small grows.
Yeah.
And everything that we have is because of home growers. And to not recognize that is fucked up. And that's why I
Yeah.
support and have a huge base of home growers. And we need to get back to actually improving the plant, not just the stalemate shit that we have going on now. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, listen, for the question that's pinned in the comment, ask a question, you'll get an answer. You know,
Yeah, ask a
that's why
question.
we're here. You're more than
So
welcome to
the-
ask a question.
Dude,
So,
genetics
the-
get talked about it all here.
Well, the thing is there's a lot that gets talked about, but when you have an audience and you have time, there's a great place and time and energy spent on recognizing that we need to take some action and be proactive in the situation, because Tino's right. The reason why we get to do all of this is because of the home growing and keeping this plant alive over generations and generations and generations. So yes, it's important. But if you ask a question in the question section, yeah, any of us can answer those questions. But yes, aside from what we do on a regular daily basis, there's some pretty important things, like when it comes to home growers and the importance of it.
What's the plant need? Love. What do you mean? What does it need? It needs to be continuously progressed like it has been for the last 40 years by home growers. You know?
exactly.
Oh no.
That's why I say, you have, for anybody that wants to ask any question, you got in-house in here, you got Tino in here, you got Canatine here. You guys are more than welcome to ask any questions that you want. I wanted to leave this as sort of an open forum just to have conversation. But you're welcome to ask any questions that you guys want. No one's stopping you. Come out with some good questions. You're going to get some good answers. That goes to everybody that's in here. Feel free to ask whatever you guys would like to ask.
Oh, that's unfortunate. With the 7 years work gone, wonder what that's about. I'll hit you up after the live, Lit. Hopefully everything's okay.
I think he lost all of his cuts.
Damn.
Oh no.
Oh no. Yeah, I know how that
I don't know
feels.
though. He's getting them back now or something. Well, what I'm trying to get at is where I come from is there was always drops. There was always something new every year that was better than the last year. And then there was big drops, big pheno hunts, but not big pheno hunts by one person. It was a ton of people running it. And then the best cut shined through. And that was the cut. And it got famous. And then that was like kind of what people would do. They would spend the money on these packs to find the cuts, to fucking sell the cuts. And that was like a come up you would have or whatever. But it was progressing the plant. It wasn't about the money. Now it's all about money and dumb shit and pictures, and Instagram's fucking everything up, and everything tastes like cardboard, doesn't even get you high. People don't even talk about the effects anymore. I grew up when effects mattered. You know, like, is it a sleepy weed? Does it hit you late? You know, that the creeper, like like the whole culture is disappearing. And it's fucking sickening to me that I never thought in the whole never in my whole life, I never thought it would be like it is right now. And it's fucked up. You know, I don't like it.
It's fucked up, dude. They just
That shit's fucking wrong.
They just opened this shit from a Schedule 5 and they turned it into a fucking circus within 2 years. It's just like Cali, bro. It's sad.
Well, yeah, I think it's but I think the circus is by design. They want to ultimately if they could have it their way, it would be just a handful of strains grown by 2 or 3 companies, and that's all you get. You know, kind of similar to some of the products that we already have, and that's where they want to push that and shift that. And the way able to combat that and fight that would be is to empower the home grower and let them know how important they are, but keep that segment alive, because that's the actual roots and foundation of all of this, and I think that moving forward is, building that back up, because the home growers took a big hit the past couple of years, unfortunately, due to a bunch of different circumstances, and the look to build that back up, because that's where, I've said before, that's where the genetic diversity is going to be. That's where the innovation is going to happen. I think as more people tell their story that help them on their medical path, and what strains and what particular strains to method that they use that's helped them, I think that information is going to be invaluable. And when people can realize, oh, I can literally grow my own medicine or my own nutritional supplements, or however you want to frame it, however you want to put it, that's a powerful thing for a lot of people, and a lot, and that can make strides and leaps and bounds in something that you can take the power yourself and dictate on how it moves forward, and what it's going to help you and how it's going to help you.
Right. Question. There's still talk of them pushing it back to medical here. It's not. There's talk about it, but there's a few groups of ties that like when it opened up, they put a lot of chips in, and they're somebody's, and so I think it's like those guys that have put in so much that they're pushing against that. But there's definitely a party over here that doesn't like the plant. So like I said, I don't know. It's
But the
kind of
cat's
hard.
out of the. When you agree, though, that the cat's out of the bag, there's no putting it back in there, because they may. Yeah.
You can't.
Right.
Dude, let
No.
everybody in prison. It doesn't matter if you're bringing tons across the Mekong, or if you were just in for a dime bag. They let everybody out. They gave out 1 million plants. I mean, you look like the fucking hypocritical fucks if they put that shit back. You can't do that.
Well, I don't
Now,
think
the
they legally can put it back, right? Because the medical laws are now in what is equivalent to their legislation and constitution, right? If I
I don't
recall
think so.
correctly.
There's a lot of, like I said, man, there's a lot of things going on here. I mean, and I hear it all on Facebook, because like my Facebook is all Thai. Well, I have whatever. I have my Thai Facebook, and like you scroll down in the feed, okay, and the word on the feed is very loud that the Thais want the fucking foreigners out of here that are blowing up these big indoor grows, and they're running fucking synthetic garbage into their plants, flower enhancing fucking dirty ass chemicals into their pot, and it's like I don't know. Like I said, that's what I'm reading. The Thais are getting pissed. They're pissed. They're sick of it, because I mean, shit opened up at 600 a gram, give or take. Okay. And then within 2 years, it's down to fucking 30-40 baht a gram for indoor. What do you think that does to the natural Thai farmers rocking greenhouse and outdoor with their stuff, which is light years better smoke, especially fucking healing properties? When you're rocking LED and pumping PGR, man, you're just a race to the bottom. It's all garbage. I don't give a fuck what it looks like. I mean, it's facts, dude.
Is it one of those? But is it one of those things that it corrects itself by continuing moving forward? Because like I do know there is pride in a country where when you do have a bunch of outsiders that come in and try to take over something, then it becomes an issue with the locals or people that have been grinding it out for years. As an example, we had, say a country come in and or people from say Russia, right, just started blowing everything out and really putting a damper on everything. You would see people getting pretty pissed about that. In fact, actually, you do see the gripes about the people complaining about the Chinese grows and everything else. But I think that there's like an internal tug of war back and forth when you have people that come from out of country and all that. So that's why even moving into Germany and all that, we came in with a German-based team and moving in a direction that way, because we're part of the the German story on that front, and not actually the spearheading of it. And I think those approaches into other countries is you're respecting the country, but you're also respecting the growers of that country that were doing it when it was highly illegal, and they're without stepping on them or disrespecting them in any way. And I think that's probably what's going on because Thailand's an honor country. And what I mean by that is, they'll, you can be disrespectful to a certain extent, and they'll be, hospitable to you, but there'll be a point where they're like, okay, I'm done with this shit. And then they turn it on like a switch. And that's, we have.
And they won't reverse that shit. That's for life here. Once they
Yeah.
once you lose your face, it's gone. You ain't getting it back. That's what they say
Yeah.
here. You lose your face.
Well, we have some of that. We have some of that here in the States. Like Oklahoma is an honor state. Texas is an honor state. A lot of the Midwest is an honor state. Like you can bump into them, step on their shoe, and then there's finally this comes a certain point where they're like, all right, now you're just being an asshole, and then then they turn on you, but that they gave you so many opportunity to do the right thing or act normal or act right, and you
Right.
chose not to. So now you're just you're at odds. You're an enemy to them, and that's that we have a handful of honor states. Like here on the West Coast, here they're very passive aggressive and all that. But yeah, other parts of the country is way different. So like some of the places I get to travel, your P's and Q's in a sense. Like when I travel to say like Houston, right? You're not really playing and talking shit the same way in certain places, because so once somebody takes offense to it, it's on. Now you have a problem, and there's certain things around the world that are like that.
Yeah.
And and even in this country.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, hold on. Let me get this back.
Yeah.
I want to get us back on Instagram. It just ended. Give me one sec.
I had somebody in my inbox that was over here. He's from the States, and he's got a Thai friend that has his own little club, and he had all the jars out, and there was a particular cultivar he wanted to test out, and his buddy wouldn't let him smoke it, and he didn't understand like why or whatever, and his Thai buddy kind of beat around the bush until the point where homeboy from the States is like, listen, bro, like I know what I want to smoke. I want to smoke this shit because it smells good. It's whatever, it's got color and all this shit. And then he said, then finally, like his buddy said, listen, man, like everything in these jars over here, I'll let you smoke, but everything on this side, you can't smoke any of that. I'm not going to let you smoke it. And it was because it was a bunch of full PGR, 100%. That's what he told him. He said, can't smoke this. I'm not going to let you because he was just, come to visit him here, and he didn't want him smoking this weed. And the thing is that them jars were 250 baht a gram. The ones that were grown locally or whatever and naturally are 100 baht a gram. And that's why his buddy wanted to test this other stuff, because it's all, like I said, the flower structure and everything is just rocked out. You can barely grind it, but it kills the THC content, man. You can have like a legit 25% cultivar, and after you rock that fucking juice, dude, it can knock it like 10%. You have something maybe like whatever, 14 to 17% out of a 25, or even worse. So,
Yeah.
and it doesn't get you high. That's the thing that he said to him. He says, you're going to smoke this, you're going to pay $250, you're going to smoke it, but 30 minutes later, you're not going to be high no more. And you have to keep smoking it. Where he says this stuff over here, is going to get you twisted for a lot longer.
Yeah, well, there's a big difference from when you make something in production or it's all loaded up with PGRs compared to something that was organic or something that was just grown through like a traditional like salt, or there's a big huge difference between.
It has nothing to do with the food. Athena, I don't care if you're rocking Athena, I don't care if you're rocking Aptus or doing TNF, the natural organic and everything. It doesn't, like, that's not the thing, man. But you just got to stay away from that fucking genetic altering garbage that, like I said, man, that shit, I got to see it firsthand. It's thick. You know what I mean? A lot of these foreign motherfuckers coming in here, man. I seen it, man. I mean, as soon as you give it that shit, they don't they stop. The plants stop and they just go. They chunk the fuck out. There's no more stretch. There's nothing. It totally changes the fucking plant. It's not the same at all.
Yeah, well,
And
it's a minor insight on what they ultimately want to do. So that they, as an example, we used to have hundreds of different varietals of corn. Now we have two, and it's owned by a chemical company. And
right.
so yeah, I think you're touching along the lines of the CRISPR and this and that. And that what that does is it takes away from a lot of what the potential that the plant can do. So I think that but I don't think a lot of people really are educated on that or understand, like that the PGRs are, basically, it's not good. It's not good for you, and
Forbid to get anything into a breeding situation like that, because now you have some midget plants that won't do shit in the genetics. That's facts. That shit carries over, man. You cannot breed with anything in that with that shit. Otherwise, those seeds are potentially are going to be. They're not going to, they're going to do the same thing, man. They're not going to get big.
No, because each plant has a genetic code from its original parents. Now, some of the genetic code will get locked up, so you'll get a runt or you'll get a funky looking plant, but it doesn't change the fact that genetic code is still in that plant. It just during its growing process and all that, it didn't get unlocked. It didn't express it. So it's just like when you'll have some that when you're pheno hunting, some of them will just stretch like crazy, right? Because it's already got that genetic code in it to reach and get as high and get as much light as possible and exert itself in doing so. Then you'll get in other pheno hunts in the same beans is you'll get like some squatty, really bushy ones. Now, the interesting thing is I think some of the stuff that we've got or that kind of messed up a lot of the pooling in a sense was they took and ran like something that had hermed on them, right, and popped that and then ran that, in which makes some of the pool a bit more murky over the past 10 or 15 years. And then you had this mad, in addition to that, you've had this mad dash of the highest THC content. So people were carrying plants and that had the highest THC content, and then when they hunted out those set of beans, they were only keeping the cultivars that tested in the highest THC. So then it's gotten this big, huge race to get to 30 plus percent THC, and then people have now grabbed onto that and been, don't want to see anything under 30, not realizing how important the other cannabinoids are in a plant in order to have a great high, like from the era that we came in, that some of the best highs we've ever had was from a 12-17% THC into something that was loaded up in 5%, 10%, 12% even of a CBG, or a CBD or a CBD or another complementary cannabinoid, and it's a great feeling high. You're enjoying and you're relaxing, and it lasts. It's not, even if you get startled, you're not ruining your high.
Right. I say the same shit, man. I've had cultivars that are what I believe well under 20 completely melt you.
Yeah, because you get the entourage effect. The lower THC percentages doesn't really mean anything. It really doesn't at all. It's the full terpene profile. All this,
just like
cannabinoids.
The flower that has some of the best effects, being body high and other effects, are not the greatest washers. I mean, I already know that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sorry. I'm just trying to keep up with these comments, man. I'm not trying to throw some good questions up there. There was a couple.
But I guess there's some pretty good comments that I was gonna kind of point out here. There's like somebody brought in about the rosin market being flooded, the hash and rosin market being flooded. You lost your ability to be outside and creative selling it basically. So what I would say to that is now we've turned the corner where a lot more people are familiar with it, that it's here to stay. It's a preferred method of extraction through bubble hash and then pressing. Now, when you look at, it's not a matter of what the shiniest jar that you can that you can put it in and market it that way. Now it's like, what is truly actually inside that jar, and how does it affect the human body, and what does it do? Now, a lot of people have switched to using rosin to put in their edibles, right? So what is now the CBD content of that? What obviously THC is the first question, but what's the other cannabinoid content in the terp profile that's going to be in that? But mostly what's the cannabinoid content, because now you're ingesting it into your body, and those cannabinoids are going to attach themselves to your CB1 and CB2 receptors. So I think that conversation in that realm is what the next progressing conversation that people should be having. Not how well can I market this, and because we've already seen in the past 5 years of people doing really great work in that realm, but if you're looking at what the future holds and what the next step is now educate yourself on what is in that jar, and then relay that to your patients, customers, or however your system is worked out. And that's where that's the next step. That's where things are moving towards.
Yeah. Like 90% of the growers that have come on now are fresh frozen. That's where they're going with it. So, and there is a difference, in quality, and it's a craft. It's just like, growing flower, like craft compared to, not. I mean, it really is a thing. It's when people get really good at it, those are the people that are going to do really well with it. And I see that in Michigan right now, because I talk to a lot of people in Michigan, and the market's flooded, but the people that are actually doing it, the right way and high quality, those people are actually doing really well right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So like we were just having a conversation with some growers here about I was like, what is we were bouncing some ideas, and one of the ideas that I came up with is we have a few of these empty pens. I said, why don't we just run a high CBG or a high CBD or high cannabinoid content in those realms of hemp, right? And let it grow wild. And then that way, when we harvest the outdoor for the cannabis side of stuff, then you're creating a mix, like a 60-40 mix, 50-50 mix, or, so that way it's all made at the same time. So it's basically, the single source, I guess. But my point is you're going to have, it's going to take years to breed backwards or breed back the CBD and the other cannabinoids and go back that direction. And plus you're fighting the market itself by saying that THC is king. In reality, until the right information comes out, that's not necessarily the case anymore.
No. Well, I actually want to start playing with the 1-to-1s and I want to get some really legit CBD cultivars to do some whip ups with, some of the stuff that I think that would be, fucking bangers that would make, 1-to-1 or whatever, CBD.
Absolutely. Like there was a question that was just up, and it was a great question. And my answer to that is yes, the terp profiles and the cannabinoid contents are important, but you're going to, when you're looking at an indoor, you're going to have a lower terp profile than your expression than you're going to have with an outdoor. Your outdoor will be 5, 6, 7% terps, where an indoor is going to be like 3 or 4% terps, and you're just not going to be able to duplicate what you can do outdoors. And I think that was the question that was on there.
Yeah,
myself, dude, I'm a greenhouse outdoor since. I mean, in Cali, of course, I've rocked an indoor, but it's not the same animal. It's a completely different thing, man. You could take cuts off the same mother plant, rock them indoor or greenhouse or outdoor full sun, and they're going to be not the same.
Well, so when you're doing your grow, you're going to be diversified in a sense that you're going to have outdoor grow and you're going to have indoor grow. Or that's you're going to have greenhouse. There's a lot of these things. So this is all going to be interesting to see how a lot of this unfolds over the next decade or half decade, because then now we're shifting in what is the potential of this plant and how we're going to unlock it, because now we have this freedom and we have this information and we have the studies now that from the NIH that they can no longer deny the specificity I'm butchering that word, but the specific yeah, a little bit, but you obviously get my point. And it's very important. It's very important for us to bring that information forward and continue bringing that forward. So like a lot of people are kind of at a loss, or they're not sure, or the market sucks. Look, you're always going to have ups and downs in markets. It's about how you reinvent yourself, or how your approach is and all that. But the cool part about the cannabis plant in particular, there's so much to it that we barely even scratched the surface on its actual potential. So we've mastered this low-hanging fruit of what the cannabis plant provides, and same with the hemp plant provides. Now it's time to evolve and continue progressing and moving forward, and not just making it better, but making it great for everybody. And that's what I think. I think it's crazy. It's funny to say because it's like corny, but I really feel we could find a vast majority of world peace and a lot of problems solved through both cannabis and hemp. And not only that, it brings jobs, brings stability. You could really build. Like if you had a country and its main currency was weed and cannabis, it would probably be the greatest country on earth, because the people that would be involved and how grounded they are, in a different outlook and a different look on how things are done. But my main point in this whole ramble and messing up words is we're just scratching the surface. And so if you're at a loss, if you own a business and you're at a loss on what your next steps are, or what direction you should go as a business, or as a caregiver, as a home grower, you have to start digging into the NIH studies. They're published publicly. I don't know how long they'll be up publicly for, but start learning and understanding what particular set of cultivars do what, and how that may help your customers, your patients, or etc. But that's how those are the next steps. And if you are responsible for giving one person relief, that person is going to tell hundreds of people about what helped them along the way, which then tells them to, basically gives them the opportunity to explore it, check it out, and all that. This plant's far from a cure-all, but it can help so many on so many different levels. We don't necessarily have to have a loaded up THC to have a extraction or a product that helps so many people, whether it's for their anxiety, or whether it's from as an example, when you're going through different treatments, a 5% or 3 or 5% THC with the CBD, you'll feel relaxed, but you'll start getting hungry, where your medication is kind of preventing you from feeling that and being hungry. And is nutrition, as you eat, is actually really great for you if you're going through any sort of condition. But also, too, those cannabinoids are affecting your brain in a positive way, so you're feeling more up for a fight of any ailment that's coming your way. Because there's, your brain is a fascinating thing, that if your mindset is, I'm going to win, I'm going to beat this, there's nothing that's going to stop me, there's a good chance that there's nothing that's going to stop you from accomplishing what you want to accomplish. There's times where people have been told that, hey, you're dying in 6 months. That's the worst seed that you can plant in somebody's head, because when that person's like, no, I'm gonna ride this out for as long as possible. I'm gonna fight this and all that. They get extended life. They just got a shit deal in cards and nature and life, but at the same time, it extends it a little bit more. So that's why I think that hemp and cannabis is going to be super beneficial moving forward, is because we're going to get more of those people. You know, we spoke about Stoner Girl earlier. We're going to get more of those people that they choose to fight. They choose to go, yeah, I'm bucking the trend and I'm going for broke. And if it works, fucking amazing. If it doesn't, at least I'm going down fighting and this shit didn't control me, right? And that's where your mindset, her mindset, is really amazing to see, because she's got the odds stacked against her, but you
Yeah.
wouldn't tell by the way that she talks, and that's inspiring to people. And then it's like, in a sense, even if you're not related to that, it's still inspiring to see. And I think that ultimately, when if you're looking at the future is going to be, it's not necessarily a handout, but it's a hand up to people. Get the right information, and I start getting the education that's direly needed out there, so people can change their circle, they can change their sphere, they can make a better carved out situation, because we get to experience it every day. We understand, like anybody that's a grower or that grows and all that. We have moments in our day that are a lot of people will never experience in their life, or have these zen moments where nothing really great to look at, that you just transplanted, come in a couple of days and it's taken root and it's up pot, and you're like, hell yeah, she's rocking it right now. And that feeling, and that is a great feeling, and there's some things that will never ever be lost on us, and that's growing this plant, whether you're cloning it, making offspring. It is everything. Every aspect about this plant is amazing, and I feel everybody should grow at least one plant, even if it's just just a little desk light, and you got a small little plant growing. They're really great to look at. They're really, they feed back, and also too, if you talk to it, it's going to get the proper CO2, and it's gonna grow that much better.
No doubt, man. Shout out to Amy. I see you on the Instagram. So glad you're in here to listen to that a little bit. A lot of respect out there to you, for sure.
Well, but it's also, she's one of many, but like I see her inspiring other people to tell their story that were reluctant because they're not sure how it would go over, or how it would be perceived, or how their family would think. Or like, we're shedding this obviously propaganda and this shame that people have for partaking in the cannabis world. Like, I've been called a criminal, or drug dealer, all the stuff over the years, and to me it's like, yeah, well, history's on my side. So, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Now all of a sudden, take the pandemic as an example, right? We all went from criminals to being essential overnight. Every grower, every grow operation, every dispensary, everything all of a sudden became essential to everything. Because you know what? They didn't shut down. They didn't shut down the dispensaries, and they didn't shut down the grows. And it was just as important as a grocery store and everything else. Yeah. The thing is, like, alcohol isn't the problem. It's the addictive personalities that people have, right? Now they, like, alcohol, there's like, for instance, it's bad in a sense because it's so addictive and people can fall down and slip down. It's a slippery slope. But if you
Yeah.
have the mindset and an understanding that you're not going to let something dictate your life, right? It's just like, I think it's a joke when they say cannabis is addictive, but yet they don't. It's addictive along the lines of sugar, or soda, or high fructose corn syrup, or something like that. That's where the addictive level of cannabis is, because yes, you might get a headache, you might feel edgy, you might feel whatever, but you're not in physical pain, right? You're not going to die from not for not smoking or not having an edible, where alcohol is one of those type of things. And the only known product on the market, which is cigarettes, is its end result is to kill its end user, right? And but yet the demonized cannabis left and right like this is fascinating to me. But also I recognize, because I live in the real world, that that you're ultimately responsible for yourself and what you gotta do, and if you're gonna allow it to overtake your life or not. But yeah, but that's where Tino, I disagree. Addiction is not an addiction. Like, you can be like, there's addiction, like real addiction. So when you frame addiction, and I guess where I look at it is, it's altering your life, right? You're throwing your family, your friends away. You're making extremely bad decisions. You're doing a lot that, like, for instance, if you don't get your cup of coffee, you're not slapping your wife, right, or your girlfriend or your kid around. Um,
Yeah.
you're not missing work because you didn't get your coffee, right? You're not missing work because you didn't get you didn't have a Red Bull or whatever. That's my main. That's what I feel. You're lessening the severity of what addiction actually is by saying, that you're addicted to weed, or you're addicted to coffee, sugar, or whatever, right? It's habit. I guess, in a sense, the best way to put it is it's habit forming rather than
100%.
addiction.
It's not physically addictive. Like, it's just not in the case where opiates and alcohol is very physically addictive. It just is. Cannabis is not. There's definitely a difference there. To me, there really is. Seeing people withdraw from alcohol, opiates, all that, compared to you stop smoking pot, you're good. There's a huge difference. Physically, mentally, two different things. Habit.
Yeah, it's like, I guess, in a sense, it's what's important is that when you classify it, on that, it's in its right proper classification, so that way you know how to deal with it. Because if you get in to say that, okay, cannabis is addictive, then that brings the mental health community and industry into the fold, kind of like Smart Approach against marijuana. It appears that they're heavily funded by say, the mental health sector, possibly, right? So you can see why they're really harping on the addiction aspect and all that. But like, look, Bob Saget put it best, right, in that movie, right? It's like, you're in here for weed, right? You guys remember that movie?
Yeah,
But have
definitely.
faith.
Yeah,
Like, you're in here for weed.
yeah.
It's like,
I might have heard that myself once or twice in my life. You're in here for weed? Like,
yeah.
maybe. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, to Tino's point is, where my opinion and where I lie is addiction. I have a different definition of addiction, because when you're addicted to something, that means that you have to have it. And you can't necessarily, you feel in your mind that you can't live without it. And so that's like the meth and the heroines and the alcohol and all that, where you'll destroy your life, and you can feel it. You can feel it, and you're not gonna you're making life altering decisions because that drug is telling you what to do and how to act, right?
Yeah.
So you no longer have control of yourself, because your brain is telling you, I gotta get this particular drug in my system on a regular basis. Like, it's a joke, right? You ever seen a crackhead fail, like on getting crack? No, every day they got to have crack. They're going to find a way to get crack, so have the mindset of a crackhead that,
Yeah.
You're going to get what you set out to accomplish every day. There's never a crackhead at the end of the day being like, I couldn't find any crack, or
No,
they'll find a way to get it done.
They will find a way. Yeah.
And if you ever need anything done with precision, find yourself a tweaker, because they'll take it apart piece by piece and then put it back together piece by piece.
Yeah. And there's levels. I agree with whoever said that. There's levels, but there is physically addictive, and like coffee. I mean, Tino brought up coffee, but you might get a headache. I mean, I feel like that whole withdrawal thing takes certain things to a different level when it comes to addiction. So, but there's no physical addiction to cannabis. I think that was the point, really. So,
Yeah, well, I think that it's like, it's like anything. I think that, and I'm of the mindset that people are adults, and I think that every drug should be legalized, and you make the decision on what type of drug that you want, because that takes a vast majority of everything out of the fold. It takes the violence out. It takes the everything out. So it kills any sort of black market that fuels the heroin trade, the coke trade, and all of that. Now, if you had it in, and same with like everything, right? You should have it legalized and regulated, so that way you're not having to deal with the extra shit. And this actually worked in Amsterdam, because the late 90s they had or mid 90s they had a high crime rate, and there was shit was falling apart, and they were like, you know what, we're just gonna put this dope in a clinic, and you can come and get high every day. And I remember watching, this is like 1994, 95. I was a kid. I was probably 13 or 14, but I was watching a 60 Minutes episode, and the people were at the park, and they were complaining. They were like, they're giving us the cleanest, heroin around, and it's killing people. And all they did was made it accessible. But what happened was is their crime rate dropped off tremendously. They had a high crime rate, and overnight it was gone. And there was no more seedy shit going on in the park. There was no more dealers. There was no more a lot of stuff. So, that's why I think of the mindset of legalize it, let it sort itself out, and let grown adults make decisions on what they want to do, because they already do that in pharmaceutical form, where if you go to a doctor, they'll give you, there wasn't a time not long ago where they give you a highly addictive pill like an Oxycontin and go, have at it for your tennis elbow. Take a couple of oxys for that, just overprescribed, which led to the pandemic and epidemic that we're into now, and the exploding, crime rate, and the amount that from a cartel problem to everything that this country is facing right now, all can be traced back to Oxycontins and the Purdue Pharmaceutics aspect. Now, if you're, now we have this mental health crisis, we have this drug problem, and so that's why I figure, fuck it, let it sort itself out, and let people go into clinics and let them. But because the nice part, if you're going into a clinic and not buying it off of the street, there should be two windows. One, if that's what you're choosing and you want to get high, and the second window is the opportunity to get help. You may bypass that second window maybe 5 times, 10 times, and you may even go to that window and fail and then relapse. But that window is like a safeguard, because one of those times that you go to that window, you're never going to go to that other window ever again. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And that's when you're giving people the power to change their life and change their stuff. We just don't have that. Every person that I've had a lot of friends go down the addiction path, and getting high on dope. And you know what they used to always say, and still to this day, is like, yeah, I'm getting clean tomorrow, right? And it's like tomorrow comes and they're getting high, and that's why I don't really like, as soon as like friends have caught in habits, I cut off any sort of communication with them, because I know and understand from my upbringing in my childhood that only an addict is going to make the decision to stop. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what your kids say or anything like that. That person has to make that decision.
They have got to be ready.
What's that?
They have got to be ready. No one can put them into a rehab and think that they're just because you put them in a rehab, they're going to they might get clean while they're in there. They're going to come out and get high. They have got to be ready and want to do it themselves. Because I've seen it too. I've lost so many of my friends over the years. It's just crazy. And I agree with you 100%. And they have to be ready. Until that day that they say, I'm ready to get clean, and they really want it, they're not going to get clean. No matter how much you force them to try, or you put them, as parents to kids, to teenagers, to young adults, whatever it is, even grown adults, like, you can't force those people to go in and think they're going to come out and continue and stay clean. They're going to get out and use, unless they go in there wanting to be clean and it's their decision. They're going to end up using it again. It's got to be something they make, a decision they make, not somebody else makes for them.
Yeah, and it's it says, bro, it'd be like The Walking Dead out there. It already is The Walking Dead out there.
Okay,
so
that's
like
why we have a
business in Seattle, and every morning we have to shoo 1 or 2 people off from in front of our business, right? And it's gotten to the point where, you know, we have such good standing in the neighborhood that other people getting high come and tell people, get the fuck out of front of this business, right? You know, because it's already the Walking Dead out there. So what you're doing is you're taking the steps to correct that. So if they're already going to do it, right, then make it make it safe and acceptable for them to do it. Now, if it's, you know, because like if you put it in in a clinic form, they're going to know what their dose is, especially if they're doing it intravenously or however it is, and you're giving them a pharmaceutical grade product. You know, you're going to lose people along the way, but you're going to lose them anyhow because that's the decision that they made in life. But if you provide the opportunity to change your life and change the way that you're doing it, that's the most that you can do, because you can't change the will of somebody or what they're set to do or what's going to ultimately happen to them. But what you can do is you can provide a solution or provide an opportunity for them to make that change. And how do you do that? You got to start putting them in a position to where they can make change. And so that's why I'm saying is right now we're in this, people go to methadone every day and now they're stuck. It's just a different form, right? You got to go stand in line every day. And then if you want to go on vacation, you got to now beg them to give you a 7-day thing. And they're looking at you like you're just there to sell it, right? You're not really going on vacation or whatever the hell it is. And the reason why I know a lot about this is because I've had friends, I've had family go through this process. And so when that time comes where they go, hey, it's my time, you know, this is the time I want to get clean, right? You know, then you start that journey and you start that process. And, you know, I've had a lot of friends, you know, not make it. And I've had a lot of friends that have made it. And also I've lost a lot of really good friends over the years to the fentanyl epidemic because the shit was laced, or, you know, it just took them out. There's nothing that's like, yeah. So would I rather see The Walking Dead? Absolutely. And not keep getting these fucking phone calls and, you know, people that I know dropping off like flies. I would like to see some sort of action and some sort of, you know, progressive action moving forward to help, you know, clean up this terrible situation.
And I think that's where it goes with that, because he personally lives near me. He's in South Jersey. Philly's right here. He knows Kensington. You know, bro, when you go down to Kensington, that's how it is. It's not would be like. That is exactly how it is down there. You know, and I feel like where Brandon's going with this is, think about the crime that would stop. Because these dudes are on the corner selling fucking dope. That's what they do. It would like almost, you know, once cannabis came, once we were able to go to the dispensary here, that changed the whole that changed all that. I mean, for a lot of people, it's still there, for people that grow. But those street boys, those murders, those shootings that I wake up to and see on the news every fucking day, that shit would probably it would be such a huge dent on it, because if they're able to go get it legally, think about all the violence, all that shit. You know, that shit's gonna definitely drastically drop. So
yeah, you're still gonna, any society, you're gonna have violence, right? There's no way around it, but you're gonna cut it down to almost minimal or nothing. But I do want to say this: if you fought addiction and you won, big props to you and big fucking shout out to you, because I don't think it goes lost on a lot of people on how difficult that decision one is to be made and stick to it. So if you're one of those people out there that have been fighting addiction, super fucking proud of you, super happy that you've held true and stayed with it, because that is the hardest thing in life that you're ever going to have to face or accomplish, is getting rid of that fucking monkey off your back, that silent devil that just haunts you and all that. And so, you know, even on your darkest days and fighting through it and all that shit, big props to you folks. You guys know who you are. But yeah, I seen it, I understand it, I respect it. And I just wanted to take a second, is, you know, big shout out to you folks that took that initiative and out there rocking and making it happen.
Absolutely, man. And that, you know, and then the whole conversation that you know, I know so many people that once they were able to, not that it made them do it, or there's a lot of people that I know that cannabis has really helped them with addiction. And it's one of the things you're able to get a medical card here in you know, in the state of Pennsylvania. And it is just, it's so amazing, you know, what this plant can do. And for anybody out there, I know it's probably nobody in here, but you know, when someone is coming off of heroin or opiates or whatever, cannabis helps them a lot. It really does.
Yes. That's proven. In fact, here in Washington State, we have a program that is funded by the taxes of cannabis that is part of a opioid treatment program that is having wonderful, great results. You know, because anybody that's understanding of addiction of heroin or methadone or meth or any of those, like the hard dope, it's physically and mentally painful of the withdrawals. And what they're finding is cannabis is offsetting that and offsetting the sickness and the pain and all that going through that. You know, like I have a close friend that I was telling you about how they say, oh, I'm getting clean. You know, he called me and he goes, hey man, I'm going to take off for a few days. And if you don't hear from me in 2 or 3 days, here's the address. Can you come check on me? Right. You know, and he made that decision that he was going to go cold turkey and he was going to fucking fight it and beat it. And the crazy thing is I wasn't sure what I was going to walk into after 3 days. Right. You know, but it looked like he went through hell and back. Right. And then first thing he said, he's like, I need a chili cheese dog from 7-Eleven, right? And so we jumped in the car and went down to 7-Eleven. He made the most nastiest, disgusting, you know, chili dog. But we sat there in the parking lot and he was just like, you know, basically kind of walking through it and all that. Later on, this same individual got into a terrible motorcycle accident. And his biggest fear wasn't when the doctor told him he was never going to walk again. His biggest fear was the amount of drugs, pharmaceutical drugs that was pumping through his body and his regiment on after he, you know, got past that. That is what he told me his actual real fear was that. And so this guy went from, you know, told he was never going to walk again to walking with a walker to a cane and now walking properly. But one of the things that came about is he's that mindset where he stops things cold turkey. And one thing that sticks out in his story that he told me was when he quit taking the antidepressants, he goes, yeah. He goes, the pain medication was no problem. I just stopped taking it, felt a little weird, not that big of a deal. And he goes, I got down to such and such antidepressant. And he goes, that's when shit got weird. He's like, I started hearing my own voice telling me to do crazy, sinister shit. And I go, what are you talking about? And he goes, man, like, you know, you ignore it at first, right? He goes, but after a while, it's your voice telling you to do shit. So you start listening to it. And then he was like, then you start agreeing with it. And I was like, well, how long was this going on? And he goes, oh, it was going on for a few days. And I was like, so, okay, what was it telling you? And he goes, well, it started one day coming in and he was like, my own voice was telling me to go up and do some crazy shit to my family. I don't want to go into super detail on YouTube because it'll get yanked down.
Right.
But the way that he explained it, he goes, I actually went through his head where he actually thought that he had done this heinous situation like in real time. And then he snapped to, and he said he was sitting in the basement, you know, at his parents' house because that's where he was rehabbing, you know. He goes, then I heard their voices and I realized that wasn't real, right? But it had been real as day to him. So when he called the doctor and he told the doctor this, the doctor goes, well, you just can't go cold turkey. You have to wean yourself off of it because those are the side effects of it.
Right.
And I was like, man, make sure you tell everybody that comes across that story because that is the most wildest shit. But I even, you know, I'm inquisitive. So I just kind of asking him, you know, I was like, what do you mean it was your own voice? And he goes, you know, your internal voice in your head, right? That sounds different from what you hear on a recording to like internal voice on your head. And he goes, it's just pounding at you, telling you to do crazy, wild shit. And he goes, but it's your voice. So you just start agreeing with it, being like, yeah, well, maybe I'll think about it. Right. And then it's just like a, you know, constant nag. And it escapes me right now what that medication was. But when he reached out to the doctor was like, you can't just not take that. Or, you know, you can't go cold turkey because he prides himself on taking initiative and going cold turkey and going through the pain and going through the, you know, everything that is. But also now he's, you know, a really healthy individual that walks and is now running, and is really, it really took, what they told him he was never going to be able to do, really flipped it on its head, but also went through a serious episode, because, the first thing he did was go up to his dad and told him what had happened. He goes, here's the weapons that I have in, downstairs. Go lock them up and do not let me near them because this is what just happened. Or this is what just went through my head. And it's, when he told the story, it's like bone chilling. Like you can't believe that, because the person, him really well, and would never have that type of thought, or even in that direction. But the way that he told the story and all that, I was floored. It will forever stick into my head, that story that he told me. I'll never forget it.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, really, it is. Some of these medications, especially coming off them like that, you just have to be very careful. Xanax, a lot of those medications, man, they
Man,
you have to
I
wean
don't know.
yourself off of them.
They didn't make it, man. They got locked up for like literally forever, or they're dead because of whatever. I believe there's a lot of hard drugs out there, but personally, what I've seen, I think the one that does the job on the mind the most is fucking meth. You know what I mean? If people don't sleep for a long period of time, and they're also packed with that chemical and not very nutrition from not eating and shit, that takes you out real quick. At least your what makes your soul gets snatched right the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen it with a friend or two of mine. I never really was around too many people that did that. I had one friend that I was, and immediately, like I had to separate myself from him because he over like a 2-3 week period, literally it was that was it. Became like a really good person to a person I didn't know at all.
Mm-hmm.
And when I left
It's
his house,
really sad to see. And then, these topics are always hard to actually talk about and discuss because we've all been affected by it. We're none of us are in this whole country. Everybody has been affected by it, and it, and to bring it full circle though, is like you said, they're making leaps and bounds with cannabis medication or different forms of type of cannabis that are helping these people through one of the darkest times they'll ever have in their life. And so the crazy part is some people would actually classify that as, oh, you're just trading one drug for another. In reality, it's like when you have physical and mental pain from one, and this one is going to help you get off of it, but you might feel uncomfortable or be on edge when you go to get rid of that particular, if it serves its purpose, right? Yeah. So there's a big huge difference there, but you always have detractors and all that. But that's where this is going. We have a big huge mental health crisis in this country, and I feel that cannabis can help pave a lot of things for a lot of people, and pave it for people to do better and be better.
Definitely, we see it every day. I see it with people like AIM, not mental health, but just like pain, physical pain, just the amazing, like the RSL helps, cancer patients. Like we've had these conversations. It's just, we see it every day, and I feel like the more awareness that's brought to it, the more acceptance there is, the better, because it is a plant. When it comes down to it, this is a plant. It's crazy that we are where we are, or were where we were with it at one time, especially us coming up, having I grew up in, 2 states where we couldn't grow. You got caught with a seed. When I was in Florida, if I had a seed, I would go to jail back then. So I'm glad we are where we are, but where we came from, it should have never been like that anyway. It is a plant, and pharmaceutical companies, these are talks that we've had and we'll have again, but
the moral of the story and the main point is, that was a pretty heavy conversation, but I think that to really sum it up is, there's a lot of great people out there with a lot of great stories. So if you feel that you're ever on the fence, or you're not sure if you want to tell your story, I encourage you to take the leap and tell your story, and let people know what you're experiencing and what helped you, because that's gonna help a lot of people along the way. and just recognize there's a lot of people that are going to relate. There's going to be a lot of people that understand, and there's a lot of people that are going to learn from your story and what you went through. And being able to do that is a big deal. Like as an example, I still get nervous anytime I do these podcasts or I jump on a live or anything like that. I still like something. It's just like you're just nervous, right? And then once you get
Always.
into it, you're like, oh, okay, this is just you and I here, and then but yeah, it's the same thing as like, if you're nervous, jump, because you'd be surprised on the feedback and the outreach and the impact that you can have by telling by telling your story.
Absolutely. I encourage people to come on when I throw that up. When we're having conversations like that, I should have thrown it up more. And I'd like to have these conversations more. I really would. I think these are good conversations that need to be had. And I think that it'd be cool to have people cycle in and out and you guys tell your story a little bit. What helped you? Maybe I'll think that through. Maybe once a month we do something like that where we have people cycle through. We want to hear your stories. Tell us how cannabis helped you, especially when it comes to like addiction and other drugs. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that, but I think those stories should be told because there could be somebody in here watching this right now that's in addiction that doesn't know where to turn, doesn't know who to talk to, and these conversations could save somebody. So I think they're necessary conversations to be had for sure.
Yeah, well, they're just tough conversations. I mean, I'm pretty sure we could find other stuff to talk about, but at the same time, where the conversation went and flowed, and there was good, maybe some good content that came from it. But I mean, that's one of those things where your type of platform and the type of things that you're setting up, where everything is free game and it's not necessarily all glitter and sparkles and unpolished. There's some real shit that's affecting this community, affecting people, affecting everybody, and best way to get through it and solve it is to talk about it, have a conversation about it.
Yeah,
A lot of
really,
history going. I was blessed to be able to have people older than me and get to see what happens when you fuck around with shit like that. A lot of people didn't have that. Then they had no clue of how severely deep you can get like that, like really quick.
Mhm.
And as a young one, I got to see, in the late 70s, mid 80s. By then, I was like, oh hell no. You know what I mean? I don't drink alcohol. I smoke weed. I mean, that's my number one thing is just the plant. That's it. And I don't really, I mean, I might have a beer or whatever, and definitely like, I'm not going to sit and fuck around and find out because that's how you do it. So, by early 20s, I just knew that all this stuff was just, would take you on a road down some bad shit. And then of course, I had friends that were just going out of their mind because they just got too deep into a lot of shit. And I felt bad seeing somebody you really were close with, and like you don't see them for a year or two, and they're like you said, dark. They ain't the same person no more, man. They're not even nothing. They're like their feelings are gone. Like old times you had, they don't remember that shit or even want to know about it.
Yeah, you lose it's like, and like I heard a quote, I think it was like by like a Joe Rogan or something. You lose a lot of people, and a lot of them are still alive, right? And it's just unfortunate that they go down certain paths, or you lose people over certain beliefs or whatever. Like people just change, and then you do have your core group of people that are your, what do you say, like your day ones, or people that I know, people that I grew up with. We could go a day, we could go 6 months, we could go 5 years without talking to each other. But as soon as we talk to each other, it's almost like the time is erased immediately, because you already built that bridge, you got that respect. It's not like anything like that. So that, I mean, you always have those type of friends where, oh shit, what's up, and but like but Darkstar and I have talked about this before. Is on my things is I had a shitty childhood, right? Broken home, dope fiends, alcoholics, all this shit. But the thing was I didn't let it define me, right? I chose to go down a different path. I mean, I've had to wash my one pair of jeans in the sink and dry it out over the stove. I've gone, without food for a day or two. I've literally starved where your stomach hurts, and when you go through that type of trauma growing up, you get a different look, you get a different spin, you get a different outlook on a lot of shit. And you learn a work ethic, you learn a lot of stuff. That's why the successes and the wins and all that stuff I've had in life, I will never apologize for it. I will never regret it and all that, because you're grinding and you're hustling every day. And if you have a problem, or you don't like the way somebody hustles or grinds, or you balk at their shit and their success and what they do, you're just a hater. Catch up to their level, right? Catch up to their level, past them, right? So, and I think that, I think if a person actually goes without a meal and actually gets that hunger pain in their stomach, they will have an absolute different outlook on life moving forward. And they'll realize a lot of first world problems, superficial shit, doesn't really mean all that much in the grand scheme of things, But will I ever take a failure and blame my childhood, or because I didn't learn that skill or whatever, yeah, that's what kept me from getting into a lot of hard drugs, right? Because I saw firsthand on what it does. I recognize that I have an addictive personality, so I have to keep a lot of shit in check while growing up and as an adult, because I know impulsive and the shit that's already in my genetic code to really like something and go super hard. We all have a touch of the ADHD. We all have a touch of the TISM. We have a touch of everything that really sets us and goes into stuff. One of the fortunate is I was able to funnel that into education and information. It's like my brain sometimes will be like, yeah, now you need to read. Now you need to look some stuff up, because your brain gets hungry and you get excited about stuff. But yeah, it's one of those interesting things. And I know Chad's had similar experiences, but that's one thing that is true though, is if you put yourself under stress and stay under stress, you have to find a release valve or find a way to deal with it, and all of that, and everybody's got these light and dark aspects to themselves, right? The key is to put that dark side on a chain or on a short leash, right? And really work on that. And that's because of anger and outlash and all that stuff, and allow that lighter side to shine and be good and be better, right? And then and go down that path. That's the thing that I've really focused on in the better part of the past, like 10 years, 12 years, was being a better person, being nicer about stuff, and not going, getting bleak or dark. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. You can't appreciate some of the things in life without going through and being at that point. I mean, I guess you can, but I appreciate I really appreciate every day. I appreciate everything I have because I've been there, to literally have to ask for money to get on a bus to whatever. Like, I have been at that point before. So I think Brandon nailed it, to not be able to afford something. And it's not even about money. It's just to not have certain things, or realize what it's like to really want something that you need, and not something that you want, something you need, like food. I think that you appreciate life a little bit more. You appreciate the things that you have in life, and that's just, I think more people should understand that, or see that.
Well, I think it's also too, you prioritize. Like, you want your plants to always have the best, right? You want to, even when you fail, you want to learn from those failures and get better. And there's always the shit to learn, right? And bringing it back to this community is it's not you're gonna fail. It's just inevitable. Nature just plays this fucking game with us, because it goes, no, I'm in charge, and I'm gonna show you how I'm in charge, because oh yeah, that plant that you love, yeah, it's about to struggle. We don't, for no reason, right? It's just gonna have some stress and all that. But the most humbling thing is Mother Nature. Just when you get cocky and think you got it dialed in, she's gonna let you know exactly what's up. And Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna give you a problem to solve, and it's just about persevering and going through those changes and going through those troubles and troubleshooting and continuing to progress and move forward and keep growing is what's most important about it. Not just addition to your plants, but grow with your plants, right?
It,
Go through the process too.
in life, yes, grow. You know, yeah.
All right,
Good
we are at the
conversation.
3-hour mark.
I was just gonna say it was a good conversation. It's a very good conversation tonight.
Yeah.
You know?
Before we get out of here, I just want to give a big shout out to the consistent of the 79 people that have been flowing through here. A lot of you guys were here from the start. I just want to take a second. Big shout out to you guys on the chat. You guys with the questions, but also the intermingling in between that shit. It's really cool to see. And then also big respect for you guys taking time out to hear me ramble on and fucking mess up words and everything else. But it's never, tell you right now, it's never missed on me. The amount of outpour and respect, even when we lost the accounts and getting the DMs and the followers jumping and saying, "Hey, I was wondering, I thought you blocked me or whatever. Glad to see you're back." All that shit. I just want to take a big second and big shout out to all you folks that reached out and DM'd. Also, big solid by throwing the new page up in your stories. That to me, that's just a big, huge respect, because that's it's cool to see community do that, because that to me, that's showing that the community is looking out for community, because there is some, believe it or not, there is some people out there that enjoy the things that we have to say and what we bring up in our topics. But yeah, I want to give big shout out, big thank you guys. It was really cool to see in the past couple of days. Watching that unfold has really been amazing, and I just wanted to say thank you.
Right.
Absolutely, man. You guys know how much I appreciate you. So as I always say, y'all stay safe. Kind of tie. I know we were going to talk genetics a little bit. I feel like we could revisit that next week if you're cool with that.
Yeah.
I think it was nice having both you guys in here. 517 as well. I think maybe you were going to come in here, but I am going to call it. We're at 3 hours right now. Long ass day. We have Thanksgiving coming tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Early
Next
Thanksgiving.
week, if you're going to do that, I'm going to send you some stuff on that front, and I'll send it to Canatai, because I think it'll make a really good conversation on, especially on the genetics front, with the CRISPR, with the current work and the current lines and just normal general seed making that has been going on. I've kind of pinpointed a little bit of an anomaly, and it'd be cool to I'll pull some stuff out for you guys and have you guys bounce it off you and see what you guys think, and then we'll kind of talk about it. It's nothing too major. It's just something that I thought was pretty interesting.
Nice.
Sounds
Hell
good,
yeah.
man.
Cool.
Sounds good.
All right.
Yeah, you guys have a good night. I appreciate you in-house, Ty, Tino for jumping in. Who else did I have in here earlier? My bad. I had 808 and the Ricky show. So shout out to everybody that joined us tonight. I appreciate you guys. Everybody stay safe. Happy Thanksgiving.
Respect. And any questions you got, just hit the inbox on anything that's going on over here anytime.
And we'll have kind of Ty back next week. Don't worry.
I'll see you guys.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good night. Yeah, I feel like, we could go on a little bit longer and talk a little genetics if you want, but I feel like we could probably just come back around this time next week if you're cool with that. That's up to you.
Yeah, I'll be back next same time next week. Yeah, I'll be here. Today I gotta skirt out. I gotta go catch up with my kids' ball. I think I gotta check in and see.
All right, cool. That works out. Yeah. Sometimes the conversation just is a good conversation. So
right.
It was a good night. I feel like everybody, it was a really good night tonight. I appreciate everybody very much. I really do. Like Brandon said, 80, 90 something people in here at one time.
That's cool.
Nothing but respect to you guys. I see you guys, like he said, I see you guys in the comments. Really good conversations. The Instagram just ended. I just saw it ended. I guess that's perfect cue. Much love. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Turkey Day, y'all.
All right.
100.
Peace.